Are you looking for a faster video? Well, today it's a live stream and I know you're probably looking for a really nice and tidy edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop, you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! You guys are already really busy in chat. Hi, how are you? Why can't I see my live thing there? I'm gonna refresh. Oh, I don't want to lose my chat. I'm gonna refresh my chat because I can't see the stream. I just want to make sure I'm actually streaming. How are you? Happy Saturday. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh my God, just give me a heart attack. They like to update software just way too much. That's just the truth of it. Okay, I crammed today for the sewing of this waistband like I was cramming for a test. I just basically read through the instructions last night. I love that kind of thing, by the way. I love that thing. I love like going, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm about to sew. I know like for some people they're like, nah, I don't like that. I love it. I was just like, I never like sit downstairs in the living room, and I was like literally like laying on the couch reading this little booklet. So just bear with me. I couldn't make a cheat sheet that like I usually do right here, and I want to make sure I get this right. So I'm gonna just write a few more notes. I'm just putting a cheat sheet directly on here. Sorry. I'm just gonna finish this because I really want this to be a smooth stream. I'm just gonna make myself some very messy notes here. Understitch. It is a very complicated waistband. It's not like it's hard. It's more that like this one little spot right here, I'm like, where does this elastic go? I still didn't figure that part out. So we're gonna probably, I'm gonna put eyeballs right here. We're gonna read that one when we're there. 14 to 15. This is why bulleted steps are so nice. You can do the little bulleted step and then you can explain it. So I know what this whole thing is, because I'll read it through and then I'll look back and I'll be like, okay, what was this whole long paragraph about? You know, so welcome everybody. I'm not usually cramming like this, you know. So a few more. Oh no, we don't want this. Skip. That's view B. It's strange. You stop in the middle of sewing this and skip a few pages, so it's a little confusing. They don't finish the whole view A, and then you go into like belt loops. So then you continue here. So okay, I feel pretty good about this little area here. Let's do this. What do I need to catch up on? How are you all? There's like so many of you chatting. I love it. I always love it. You never know what it's like when you go live and you're just like, well, I hope someone shows up. It is a unique construction, very unique. Yeah, I totally crammed for a test. I hope I get an A today. I'm totally an overachiever sometimes. It's ridiculous. You tried to reverse it. Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting, Terry. I'm wondering if this is similarly sewn. Yeah, exactly, Barbara. How are you all? I'm not sure I'm going to be able to say hi to everybody. I'm going to try. Let's see here. Shim was first here. Hey, Shim. Hey, Terry. Terry was here, too. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Nancy. Beautiful 72 degrees. Oh, my goodness. You're ready, Michelle? I'm ready, too. I'm actually really excited about this. First, we're going to sew the fly, and then we get to go into the waist. So, let's see here. Hey, Karen. Oh, I'm so glad you could make it, too. Hi, Rachel. Hey, Chantel. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Kira. 36 degrees in Tennessee. Ooh. It's beautiful kind of here today, but a little cloudy. Hey, Christina and Christine. Hey, Heidi. Stephanie. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Claire. Hey, Megan. Nice. I'm glad you could make it. I know Saturdays are probably a little easier for people. Let's see. You love it too? I know. This is why I wanted to sew these, right? Hoping to be here most of the stream, taking a mental break from life. Yeah. We are your mental break. Hi, Sydney. Yes, exactly. All right. Did I say hi? Did I miss anybody? Oh, I have it on top chat. Always put it on live chat, people. You can, you're the very top of your chat bubble. It says top chat or live chat. Make sure it's on live chat. Because I don't know why it filters out some comments. I've never figured out. There's no rhyme or reason, and I will miss things. So hopefully I didn't miss anything. Hey, Beverly. Beverly, our timestamp expert. You know what, Beverly? I took your timestamps for sewing part 1, and then I put them on the cutting live stream. And today I was like connecting links. I always put a link in the description to the little project description on my website so that all of the video links are right there in one spot. It's not like a ploy to get you to my website. It's really just because YouTube's hard to navigate. And I was like, wait, where are all the timestamps in this one? I had put them on the cutting stream, so I'm really glad I was doing that. So sorry for people. I've been telling people, there's timestamps for a wonderful person. And then you're probably like, no, there's not. They're there. They're there. I put them back. All right, so A+ done. Exactly. Let's hope so. Hi, Ellen. How's it going? Hey, Anna. All right. Yeah. Oh, that was weird, Anna. Yeah, me too. That's how it looked for me too. But I'm in this little streaming control room. So I figured it was just that because it'll cycle through different things. It's really strange. Here, I'll show you guys what it looks like. I'll show you my screen. So you see on the left here. So the right of my screen, that's how I control all my cameras. So this right here is all the audio, and then these are right here. Like all of this right here in this list, that is all the things I use in this scene right here where I'm on the computer. Oh yeah, I can see my face cam's not facing me. On the left, this is the YouTube studio. So when I'm live streaming, it will show me all this stuff. I don't know what a lot of it means, but you know, so there's the chat right there. And so this right here, this little image, it will cycle through things for some mysterious reason. So anyway, yeah. This is why a lot of streamers have 2 computer screens. That would be really nice, but I just don't think that's really gonna ever happen for me. So, yeah. Yeah, if you saw the whole setup, you'd probably be like, ew, that's so ugly. People walk in. This guy walked in yesterday. Was it yesterday? He was looking for the architect, and he just like walked in here. My office is really small, and I was just like, dude, you need to back up. But I think I saw him looking at all the stuff. He was like, what's going on in here? So anyway. You need the named Hallie pattern from Oak Fabrics, and they sent a tag with a pattern that is taped to the receipt that says, I'm cute. Ow, that's really cute. I love that. Finished a t-shirt this morning. Nice. Yeah. You love the topic for life, so I was in trouble finding them. Yeah. Oh, in the guild. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm trying to be better about that. I don't know why. I'm just like, they don't really need me to promote the live stream in the guild. They already know who I am. And then a few people were like, well, actually. So Made the best recovery scramble, which hurt. Oh, your thing went well? Okay, I'm so glad. You got food. Oh, that sounds like a good meal. I don't know why, but I'm already getting hungry. That's such a bad sign because I'm just really keyed up today. Hey, Maggie. Kombucha. Kombucha is the pineapple on pizza thing here. All right, let's do it. We're going to first start with the fly and the zipper and all that on the center front. So far we've done all our pockets. So we have our, sorry, I pinned my labels here so I don't forget them, you know. I'll probably will though, because we have to do so much prep to the waistband. All right, so here's our welt pockets, and then the inside welt pockets. And then we have our outside pockets done. So here's the inside view. And so this is the little finishing that you do at the top of the pocket, making way for this adjustable waistband that we're gonna do. Because basically we're gonna sew the waistband to the front pant right here to the pocket. And then, you know, this is gonna go into the side seam. And then the back is gonna, you know, come onto this area here. I think that's how I'm understanding it. Don't quote me on that. It is. It is, Shim. Hi, Libby. How's it going? I am proud of you. Chicken curry. Oh, my goodness. That sounds kind of good. All right. And then here's the front. So they are a slash style pocket. And then they're darted. These are darted trousers. And someone asked if they could make this into a pleat. I actually think you could quite easily make this a pleated front trouser by not sewing the dart, just, you know, pleating it over. And then if you want a deeper pleat, I would slash from your waist all the way to the hem and open it up a little bit. And then you could have a deeper pleat right there. That would be a very easy thing to do. And let's see, I wanted to mention one thing. Oh, that's right. I have a video coming out this afternoon. Can I just tell you how much effort I put into this video? Because I recorded it on Wednesday. And it is a video on grading between sizes. Mind you, Cashmerette has a video on their website telling you how to grade between the waist and the hip. You don't need my video. I just thought I would throw this option out there because it's just different, right? And I find it really hard to grade between sizes sometimes because of the way patterns are stacked. The sizes are all stacked, so you see all the sizes, you know, when you're looking at your pattern, right? And when you're grading between sizes and your center fronts aren't stacked on the center front with all the grade going on the side seam, it's kind of hard to grade between sizes. So I just thought I'd offer this option. I recorded that whole darn thing 2 full times on Thursday. I went home. I didn't like it. I re-recorded it the next day. This is after the stream every day. Then I went and edited that. And I fully finished it, rendered it, had it ready to upload. And I woke up, I went to bed and I went, it's not good enough. And I woke up in the morning going, yeah, it's not good enough. And I hate that. I hate it when I have to go into a fully edited video and watch it for the 10,000th time. Because I stop hearing elements of it. You know, I stop hearing what I'm saying because I start tuning out because I'm bored of hearing me talk about this thing I've already talked about for 10 hours, right? And so then I was like, just go to sleep. You don't have to put it out there. And in the morning I was like, I'm just going to delete the front of that video. I'm going to take out a ton and it wasn't a ton. And I feel like I recovered it and I feel like it turned out pretty good. So if you want a video on grading between sizes, so a larger waist to a smaller hip or a smaller waist to a larger hip, for any kind of pant or trouser pattern, it'll help you out. And it'll be available at 3 p.m. Pacific. So anyway, that's my shout out for my video that I really struggled on. So sleeve hem stacked, is this common? It is, I feel like, I think it is, and it's really interesting that they do that because I feel like I had a whole thing in my video about this. and I really tapered it down. Yeah, right, Christina? Yeah, so when you stack the grade, you can, you know, like stack all the hems. So the hems look like they're not graded, right? So the hems are all like all one line for all sizes, right? And then the grade goes out and in from that point. And so you could stack it all on the inseam, right? You could stack it all on the waistline, all the center, the side seam. You can stack the pattern however you want. But what I think is that a lot of pattern companies stack it, if they're purposely stacking in a certain way, I think they're stacking it so it's easier for you to cut out, because they know, they're sewers, they know what it's like to find your size amongst 20 different lines all stacked on top of each other. Or they're like, this is a pattern where people might be grading between sizes, let's give them some room here, right? So I think that's what's happening. I like seeing that because sometimes I can tell something didn't get graded. Like the inseam on this trouser is not different between sizes if you see them all stacked. So that's something like, oh, this is the same inseam on the smallest size and on the largest size. I'm pretty sure. Don't perfectly quote me on that. I don't see if my paper's here anymore. But I'm pretty sure that's the case. I have made so many miniatures of this pattern at this point. So, yeah, I hope it's helpful, Ellen. What I like about this is that it literally, it's a half-hour long video, but the tutorial to do that change literally takes 3 seconds. It's so much easier to grade between sizes when you do it this way. So, yeah, there you go, Carrot. It might help. Let me know what you guys think. So, all right, let's do this. I'm already getting hungry. This isn't a good thing. All right, I think I have decided to interface this shield here. But actually, yeah, I'm gonna interface the shield because I don't like this crumpling inside my pants. So let's go over to the iron real quick. And this one goes like this, right? Pretty sure. All right. Oh, you were Amy. That's okay. I just now started sewing. All I just now did was blabber. You missed all the blibber blabber. Or jibber jabber, as Penny would say. That's for Ray. Ray and I are really big, Big Bang Theory fans. It was fun because when I was like on the couch cramming for my Cashmerette test today, my husband, when I'm down there, he always puts that on because it's on every day at 6 and 6:30. And it was one he hadn't seen, so always a delight to see him enjoy something like that. So, blibber blabber. Oh wait, what did you see? Okay, go away, YouTube. Merchant Mills have a new trouser pattern, and then I'm going to try. Oh my goodness, there are so many. I saw that French Navy has a jean pattern in the works. I am kind of regretting this. Like, I want to sew all the jeans. I want to sew all the jeans within reason. There are a few I see and I'm like, nope, not sewing those. I can tell they will have an issue or they're not for me. So, All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to finish this curved edge here, just on the fly there. So we're going to go back over here. Boop. Oh, Rachel with the helpful tips there. I like the 2 times speed thing. I already talk at 2 times speed though, so I'm really sorry. All right, let me put my phone on now. I had it all queued up. There we go. All right, so if you've sewn or used my zipper fly tutorial that I have, I'm going to update that, by the way. But if you've used it, this is sewn exactly the same way. So pretty much. I'm going to clip into this right here. And I'm going to lift up my pant like this and go around this corner. Oh. I should have done my little trick right there with the serger. And someone sent me the little bootstrap video, and I was like, that's it. That's how you start the beginning. Let's try it on this one. Oh, I can't try it on this one because I have to start from the bottom and go up. Yeah, Helen's Closet has new jeans as well. What's the, I don't know. I don't know what's with the explosion. You made the gingers and the Morgans and altered my patterns to fit me. So yeah, I think that's smart. What do you think about the new Helen's Closet jeans pattern? I'm curious about the Helen's Closet one. Sorry, Rachel. I'm so sorry. Yes, isn't that funny? Because, you know, people do say I am really too slow in my videos. So they're here for a short time, not a long time. Yeah, what do you guys all think about the new Brooks jeans by Helen's Closet? Those are non-stretch, right? You made it, Leah. Whoop, whoop. No, you did not miss the waistband action. I just now started, and all I've done is overlock the fly. We're on the fly right now. All right. I think Elena said she already got that pattern, and it, like, totally changed her order of sewing. I don't know, Shem. I think, like, I'm just not for you if they think I'm slow. I know that what they're really wanting, and I'm just not going to do that kind of tutorial because my aim is to actually, like, convey something that's really useful and give you that, like, context so you don't forget it. And then, like, once, for me, I know that if I understand why, it clicks for me. So, yeah. Butterick has 2 new jeans as well from Palmer and Pledge. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, the Ask a Sew Question show and the new pattern release show is early. It's this coming Friday because I'll be gone the next week. New pants, it's always high-waisted. Yeah, me too, Michelle. Now I'm on the hunt for a nice pattern to sew up some linen pants. Oh. Yeah, that was you, Claire. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because I remember I started, I was like, wait, what do I do here? That was a good reminder. That visual was really helpful. Love Notions has one too. I bought the Love Notions one. Taper Taylor's all. What was that for, Michelle? What, did someone ask you? Oh, did Anna say something? Anna, I said, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the tapered tailors all. If you buy an all, tapered tailors, not, there might be one called tailors and there might be one called stiletto. Tapered tailors, that's the one you want. It's more like chunky through here. You can use the other one. Some people like those. I find this one a lot easier to control. So, all right, so now we're gonna sew the center front seam. Though they were only $5. Wow, Rachel, that's a deal. We're gonna baste the center front. So from the notch here down to the circle that you saw on your pant right here. So that's where I clipped up to. The reason I just clipped to do this was so that I could pull my pant out of the way and overlock around the edge, right? We're gonna finish this in just a second. That little circle, if you forgot to mark it, you just want it to be on the seam line. So whatever the seam allowance is on these pants, which I'm pretty sure is 1/2 inch, right? Is going to be, it's going to be right there. I like doing the little angle because when I do it straight across, sometimes you see that sneaking under the shield when this is sewn on down here. You just never know. That's the, for me, when I sew these, like when I've sew someone else's pattern for the first time, it's always that the length of this is always the gamble for me. Like I hope it's going to cover everything up. All right, so we're going to do a basting stitch down to that circle. And I'm just gonna put my finger here so I have an eyeball so I can go straight. You want a straight line. All right, now we're gonna put it back to our regular length and backstitch and then finish out your seam. Don't stretch it. My pants are pulling right now. Don't let that happen. It'll pull your, it'll stretch out your little curve there, you know. All right, now we're gonna finish this little edge here. Helen Bartley Fit and Sew Custom Jeans. Oh, cool. I want to know more about that. You haven't gotten it yet, but the gals took the jeans class. Oh, that's right. Oh. That's cool. All right, so I'm going to flip these over like this. Let's try that little technique, Claire. All right, so this is it. So we're going to start sewing a little bit, get it going, right? And now I'm going to lift up my thing. I'm going to pull. I saw the tail move. No. I should have held it while I started sewing to make this a little easier. All right, there it is. Okay. So now I'm going to grab this tail. Holy awkward. Okay. I'm going to pull it forward along the seam that I'm about to serge. I'm actually going to trim this too. Yeah. I like that. Let's try and do the other trick with this one. Okay, so I'm going to get to the edge. And I'm going to go, my needle's going to be right off, barely. I'm going to flip this over if I can. Oof. Can I? Can I? Can I? I'm so bad at this. Okay. And then I'm going to keep sewing without trimming my threads with my blade. That's not bad. Let's see. Yeah, look. So now look at that little edge is pretty clean. It's a little messy. I really need to practice. And this one's a little clean too. Okay. I'm getting better. It's tricky. It's difficult for me too. All right. But I do want this little area to look nicer. And this thread weight I'm using is pretty heavy. So, you know. Peckham trousers. Oh my goodness. I just want a job doing all these different things. Cocked knee posing. Yeah. All right, sorry, let me focus. I know how to sew this. And because I know how to sew this, I'm like, gonna do a bad job probably. Okay, you don't need this long of a zipper. I'm gonna put my zipper all the way to the top so that the bottom right here lines up to the bottom of this. Let's move this out of the way too. Just put your pant out of the way there. All right. So line up your tape to the bottom of this curve here, just like this, and the edge of the tape to the center front seam, like this. This is such a lightweight zipper. And we're going to sew on, oh my goodness, we're going to sew on the right side. I just blanked there. I sew one pair of Mitchell trousers and I can't remember how to sew this anymore. All right, and now we're going to pick it up. We're going to fold it back just like that. Now we're going to just edge stitch what we just sewed, all right? Don't really need to back stitch, but I will. All right. Oh, they didn't release it in all the sizes. Will they? Okay, and so I like to turn my pants upside down for this next step like this. And we're going to open them up like this. And we're just going to, this is the seam we just sewed. We're just going to flop it over, right? So we're just going to match these two. And you only want to sew on the fly, right? And so make sure this is nice and flat. You don't want like a little like bubble, like you don't want this to pull over like this. And then you get this little like, you know, like little bubble of space in between the fly and the zipper there. Make this nice and flat. And then we're going to do 2 rows of stitching on this side. I don't have a zipper foot on, but I highly recommend one. I'm struggling. It's like I'm sewing through mud right now because I have my presser foot on the zipper teeth to get close. I'm going to do another one. It's a high stress area. You basically double stitch both sides because it's a high stress area, right? So you don't want your fly to fail because of stitching. It's hard to sew that. All right. So now we're going to put in the curved seam, the one you see on the right side of your pants right here. And we're going to flop that over as you're looking at the pants to your right. If you're wearing the pants, this would be the left leg. And let's see, I do have a top stitch template, but I doubt it's in the bin here. Let's see. Oh, I have it. Here it is. Oh, that's just way too narrow for me. That's just too narrow for me. I think I'm going to just do the fly width so it's all stitched down. If I did it that narrow, the stitching would be right here. And then I'd have this loose fly. So I'm just going to follow the facing. All right, so let's get my pant all out of the way. If you want to pin it down, go for it. Oh wait, I should pay attention to what I'm doing here. Stop reading chat. I can barely feel this under there, so I think I might have to mark this. I don't usually have to mark this where this fly facing is, but I can't see it. Let's see, how do we think the Hera marker will work on corduroy? Not so much, but if I pick a channel to sew in, like if we do this, let's do this and see if there's a consistent cord, you know? For the all link out from resistance. Oh. Are you asking? Yeah, there is. Oh, when looking for a link to share the all, putting it on my Christmas wish list. I'm using Clover's straight tailor's all, even when I click on a listing with tapered in the name. Yeah, I do have one on my website. Yeah, I think that's exactly it, Shem. All right. And then I think I'll use my Hera marker just for the curve here, because then it might show up, you know? I'm just going to do the connect the dots thing. So when we lined up the zipper tape to the bottom edge there, that gives us room to stitch around the bottom of the zipper without worrying. Thanks, Malin. That's it. It's by Clover, if that helps you find it. If I ever wanted a sponsorship, it'd be with Clover. Right? Ooh, thanks, Kira. That's so exciting. I kind of wanted to be able to, I'll open it on stream. I'm streaming next week, which I normally wouldn't be, but I am next week. I'm going to be making the Ellsworth shirt by Merchant and Mills. So I'll open it then. How's that? That'll be fun. Just kind of connecting the dots here of my crazy pin assortment. Trying to pull out the pins as I get there because they're underneath. Try harding a little bit, making sure. I usually can really feel the fly under there, you know. The flickers are banging on the roof again. They are relentless, man. All right. Couldn't get that one. Yeah, see, that's nice and flush. We like that. All right, so now we're going to remove the basting stitch that we had on here. And I use my awl for this because I like to make sure I catch all the threads. And if I can do it from the wrong side, especially if you're doing this on denim, I recommend doing this on the wrong side, especially stretch denim. I don't know why, well, I do know why. Stretch denim is very unforgiving for your stitches, you know? So I try and do it on the back if I can. Let's see, it's right here, right? Yeah, it's right here. So I can see it, which is great. I've tried that one. I think that's for embroidery, if I'm not mistaken. Do you know what it's called, Leah? Is it just called curve tip? Because I have tried that one. There's probably even one here. Because once I found the magic of using one of these, I was like, ooh, well, could it get better? You know, like, you know how you find something and then you're like, well, let's try them all. And I just found that this one was the best. And the way I figured this out, the funny way I figured this out was that I was trying to teach myself how to sew binding a long time ago. And I was finding that using the tip of my seam ripper to hold it in place was really helpful. But using your seam ripper is so dangerous. And I ended up, and so then I was like, well, what about something that doesn't have a blade? And I had an awl from when I went to college, because they gave you one, they issued you one. It was the cutest little awl. It was very similar to this, but the base right here was blue. I loved that thing, and then someone stole it from me. I haven't gotten many things stolen from me over the years, but that's one of them. And I was really sad because it was one of my few tools I still had from college, you know. So then I had to find a new one, and that's when I found this one. So, oh yeah, there you go. Curved awl for sewing. I'm just pulling out that thread inside because I wasn't able to grab it. All right, so now we're gonna. This is what it should be looking like right now. And sometimes people will have you trim this off, but we don't need to because this is pretty big. Look at how big this is. Chonky. All right, so we're going to sew our shield here, 1/2 inch seams around the curved edge, all right? Ooh, that's a little narrow. I'm trimming it down a little bit. A little narrow. Your scissors get into that little groove of the corduroy, and it just holds on. All right, we're going to turn it right side out. This is one of those things you could actually bind the edge if you wanted. Very nice looking finish. Funnily, I am a huge fan of binding, and I've never done that. I just forget to every time. All right, so I'm going to press this, and we're going to finish this edge right here. Press this from this side today. I know you can probably see the iron better when I'm on this side of the table. Did you guys know that there is a special mat for ironing corduroy and velvet on? So that you don't crush the pile of the corduroy or the velvet. I do not have one of those. I don't really do it very often. All right, so this is going to go from that seam over. So I think I want this overlock facing up. Sometimes I get nerdy about that. Oh, I didn't do my special thing. Okay, I'll do it down here. Okay. All right. You really have to have those the needles off the edge. Otherwise you can't flip it. But that's when I get the slack in the threads, you know? And then I do this, I pull on my threads here, which is, I'm sure, not recommended. I need more cord for the foot pedal. There we go. This is partly my problem. Here we go. So, making me nervous. All right. Oh, look at that. Okay. That one was good. Look at that. No tail. Here's my tail right here, but that's okay. So much easier. I didn't do a very good job going off though, so now I have these little things. I'm gonna just have to nerd out on this someday and get it back. You know, I never had this problem with my old serger. Okay. I'm missing so many things right now. Needleboard, yeah, exactly. I think if you're doing it a lot, yeah, it's probably worth it. Especially velvet. You don't want to crush velvet. I feel like corduroy is usually cotton and it's going to bounce back. And rayon too. Rayon is, you know, usually silk, or I mean, velvet. True velvet is silk and rayon. But you don't really want to, you know, take a chance that that would bounce back, you know. Okay. All right. So now we're just going to plop this down, lining it up on our loose side here like this. And we're going to stitch it down. I'm going to maybe stitch it from this side. I think I can get it flatter if I do that with the extension down, or the shield, I'm sorry. All right, and we're going to sew. All right, and then the last thing we need to do is bar tacks. Ooh, I really want to know what you guys are talking about, Libby. Okay, so you really want at least this bar tack right here in the corner of that curve, because that's the one that will keep this from flopping around, right? It'll, you know, tack it right there. And look, this is the thing. I really wish these were a ½ inch longer. I just don't like seeing this. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I need to get better at cleaning all that up. But, you know, it's like right to the cut. Just even 3/8 of an inch. And I know like why we don't, because we don't want it flopping around. Because right here, you know, it's really hard to, you can't really sew this down to here, right? But you know, like, let's just think about this for a second. Let's go on a tangent. What if this right here, you know, because sometimes you see them and they're shaped like this. So you could line it up with this edge. That doesn't solve my problem right now though. But what if this one, this fly facing on this side right here, what if it was lower than this one here? Why couldn't it be lower than this one here and maybe even squared off, not rounded? I hope I remember this. I'm going to try this. And then that way, if this little edge here was lower and squared off, we could line this edge up and it wouldn't be doing this, which is so annoying to me, you know. And then tack here. So anyway. Yeah, you do, Christina. All right, so we're going to bar tack over there. My fake bar tack, you can use a real bar tack if you want. And then if you were doing something like jeans, you probably have a lot more top stitching. I mean, these are considered fancy, Christina, because we haven't done any extra top stitching or anything. Hopefully I didn't miss that in their instructions, but I didn't see it. I'm not going to do it on my corduroy. Because I really like it when this whole edge is top stitched. On this, I don't think that would have been a good idea. But yeah, that's it. So here's our trouser. And we're going to lower the zipper here. Like this. And I'm going to cut it off up here at the top. And now I'm going to secure it like this. Oops. Secure this side right here so that my zipper can't go past it. And we'll sew on this one too. You don't ever usually see me do this step because I'm usually sewing jeans and those are brass zippers. So I just do that as little as possible, to be honest. Yeah, you can, Amy. Yeah, you can just clip the side that needs to go over there, but I'm pretty sure that's the side that faces up. Sewing it to gather, trim this, what? I would think you would square off the fly on the pattern. And then when you are sewing it to gather, trim the side, you want, I don't understand that, by using curved trimmer. That's why you even have to have a left and right from. Oh yeah, that magnolia. Yeah, that is a shame. Okay. Time for the waist. Oh, together. And then we are sewing it together. Trim the side you want curved by using the shield curve as a template. I have to think about that. Because the side you're top stitching the curve on is this one over here. I don't want that one to change. I just want this one here to change, the one that doesn't get stitched down. Yeah, I should have known that was together. Together. I'm already hungry, you guys. Okay, let's do it. I got my instructions. If you're watching this as a recording, just note that I might make a couple mistakes right now. And you might want to watch me finish it before you follow me along. And there will probably be timestamps. And I highly recommend checking those to see if I made a mistake. Because usually we'll say, okay, she figured out she made a mistake here. So skip ahead. So just look at that. And if you don't see that, you'll know I didn't make a mistake. And you can just follow along. Note to future people. People of the future. All right, so we've got like 6 pieces here, I think. So we have 9, 10, and 11 go to the back with 5 pieces. And, right, 12 and 13, pretty sure, go to the front. We have our elastic as well. And one of the things that I need to do in this process is sew a buttonhole. I am kind of thinking that I'm going to do a Spanish snap style buttonhole. I'm hoping that this is okay, but let's see. Is the buttonhole on the lining? That's what I want to know. I feel like this right here, inner back waistband. No, I'm pretty sure it's right here. It's on the lining, so I'm going to try a Spanish snap, which is a facing. So I'm going to get a little piece of fabric real quick. It's right here. And just have it handy. All right, I got this chalk out today. So I'm still a little, like, how do my back pockets look? Yeah, that gray is still there. Still bugging me that nap is wrong. All right, we're going to put these aside and this right here aside. This is the back waistband, number 11. This is the front. Oh, we need the binding too. I'm really glad I read these through without being live on stream, because I would have missed that you leave the binding raw on the inside. I don't think that would be a bad thing, but it does reduce the bulk by not doing it that way. Still looking for your favorite pattern drafter. Have you tried that? Amy Manarino's not here, right? The petite, who's the petite one? Petite Stitchery? Someone's here. You like it? See, Libby, that's what Beverly said. She was like, I actually kind of like it. I think I don't mind it so much. In certain lights, it's very obvious. I think it's really, what really annoys me about it is that I didn't think about that ahead of time. And then I would have had a choice. Eliza. You don't want me talking to them about it. I crammed the night before. And then I made Cliff's notes. So, you know. I don't know if I'm the best example. All right, so we have some notches here. And they very kindly reminded us that we're about to sew over those notches. So we're going to chalk them, because we're going to lose them when we do the binding. So I'm going to put a little chalk here. And this is piece 10. 9. Sorry, 9. Wait. Oh, it's 10. You want to do this too. My bad, my bad, my bad. So I'm already starting off wrong. I don't know why. I thought it was the outer waistband. Oh, here we go. In the book, I did them in the book because I was a little late. Michelle. I was going to make my own, because I usually have a little cheat sheet when it's something like this involved, and I just have it magnetized right here, and it's a bulleted list. But it would have been too much writing, so I just decided to, you know, do it myself. Okay. I'm pretty sure you're going to chalk the ones closest to the center back. That's the only ones they show you chalking. Interestingly, use a chalk to draw a 1/2 inch line each notch. Well, it says each notch along the lower edge, by the way, because that's the one we're about to bind. I actually have the, I don't know why I'm using the pattern piece. I have it notched right here. That one and then this one right here. All right. See you later. Style Arc Berry Pants. Trigger warning. All right, and then we're going to sew this right sides together. So this is another thing, is like I usually always sew my binding right side to wrong side. So I'm really glad I read this. And we're going to bind this whole edge, the outer curve. I'm going to use gold thread, so just suck it up. Oh, actually, I just did this wrong already. I just told you I need to do this right side to right sides together, and then I did it wrong, right and wrong sides. Sorry. It's such a habit to do that for me. You know? Hey, Donna. How are you? Nice seeing you. This will be a good reminder. Don't do it right side to wrong side like I always do. Right? Can I get some rippets in the chat? I've never said something like that before. Rip, rip, rip. There we go. the funny thing about the binding and this pattern is that you need 3.5 yards. And I was like, I don't think we need 3.5 yards. I'll be kind of disappointed if we don't, because I cut all this off and pre-washed it. Blame it on the chat. I'm good. Sewing drama. We need a drama emoji. That's what we need. We could replace the guild one with a sewing drama emoji. What would that look like? Yeah, cool waistband time. Getting rid of these threads here. Phenomenal. Do 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 do. All right. Oh, I take it back. This is a really long waistband. It looks so small in the picture in the book. Oh man, stand by for snarky comments in the replay. Right? Okay, I'm gonna iron this. Hi Danielle, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. I'm about to lose all those chalk marks, I think, that I just put on here. Oh no, they're there. Okay. I probably just set them for life then. All right, and then we're just gonna fold it up and leave the edge raw. This, I have to admit, Cashmerette, this pains me a little to leave this edge raw. You're testing me. Testing me. Can I do it? It pains me. I guess we could do like a little drama mask, huh? That would be funny. All right. All right, but we get to stitch it in the ditch right now. So we're gonna stitch right there in the ditch. Let's bring the camera down. I know I should just zoom it so you don't see my camera in the face cam, but oh well. How's that? The lighting's a little better today, huh? Bulk, yeah, I think so, Eliza. All right, so we're gonna stitch it in the ditch. My needle is so big. Raw edge. This is everybody's favorite kind of binding but me. These little curves, it starts kind of getting a little bit off. I didn't stretch it when I put it on. I know I usually do stretch binding when I put it on, but I did not in this case. I don't want it to, because it's not going to be hard to turn it to the other side. If anything, I would leave it loose. You don't want this to draw in, you know? Yeah, the bias doesn't fray. It is kind of a cool thing about bias binding is that it doesn't fray when it's on the bias. So, The Wrath of Khan. Oh my God, that movie really scarred me a little bit. That scorpion part. Ooh. Oh, because it's lined, right, Sydney? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so our next thing is we're going to lay piece 9 down. We're going to fold back this edge here. So we're going to iron the little short ends here of piece 9 right here. Okay. Piece 9, 1/2 inch, fold it back. I'm just mashing down the corduroy. This iron is like, I don't care that you're corduroy. I rule here. And we're gonna put this face down in the center, right sides together. So find the center. Is this not marked? The center isn't? Can you see okay? Okay. And then right sides together, all right? Pay attention right now, because if you're doing this. Okay, so now you're gonna take 11. Nope, not, yeah, 11. Yeah. Okay, and 11, and we're gonna put this also right sides together here, overlapping this, just like this. See that? No, it stays on. I think that's one thing. As Debbie asked me how I was feeling about my iron the other day, I felt like I didn't really finish my sentiment, but that is one thing. There's no indication on what is on and what is off. So the only thing that happens when you turn it on is that the switch lights up, but then the light goes out when it's hot. So you cannot tell if it's on or off unless you know which way the switch goes. And so the light is on the bottom half of the switch. And when it's on, the top part's depressed. So to me, I would push it on by pressing that light, but it's the opposite. So I'm learning that. And it's not like you can switch it on and off to see if it'll light up. If it's already hot, it won't do that. So I keep meaning to put like a little dollop of whiteout on the, on one end so I remember. But I am remembering now, like it's forcing me to, because I definitely don't want to leave it on. All right, so now we're going to stitch this down along this top edge, and we just plunked our 11, 9, 10, all down on top of each other. This is when I wish Cashmerette was in the stream going, no, that's not what you do. I want to make sure I get this right. You can't make it stay on. Oh. It has an auto shut off. Interesting. I wouldn't think one of those would have an auto shut off, But maybe that was like, people want one of these with an auto shut off, so we're going to make one, I don't know if it's how I cut these, but the curve is not really lining up that great. All right. All right. Okay, and so now we're going to... Yep, stitch, open it up like this. We're going to open it up with this one going like this. And these little overlapped ends right here, we're just going to stitch those down like 1/4 of an inch inside the seam allowance there. All right. And now look, we have a little hole for that adjustable waist. And do this side as well. You see how it's not lining up? Maybe I didn't do a good enough job cutting it? I don't know. But this piece here was a lot whiter than this one. See? Oh yeah, you could put it on a timer outlet, Nancy. All right, now we're gonna understitch this. So we're gonna press the seam allowance towards the lining and we're gonna understitch this. See, this is all really easy to sew, right? No problem, we got this. It's a lot to keep track of, but we're trusting the process, okay? I really want to clip that curve before I did that. I kind of feel like, You might want that curve clipped. You know what I mean? Like, look at that. I'm going to clip this. I think you should clip the curve before you understitch it. And if we shouldn't, at least you'll learn on mine, but you know, if you want to wait to find out if I think I made a mistake doing this. Always willing to put my garment on the line. It's so much better to clip a seam before you understitch it, and then the best thing to do, like on a neckline or something, the best thing to do is clip your seam and then fold it in its finished position, iron it, then open it back up and understitch it, and it'll lay really nice. Trust the process, trust the process. But I can tell it was going to lay a little funny if I didn't do this. So we're gonna give it a shot and see. Maybe I don't need it, but because it's going to lay like this eventually. I really wish I would have clipped that before I understitched it. Let's see if it says to do that. Okay. All right. Now the last thing we're going to do on this back right now is we're going to fold in this end. So we're going to trim our binding flush right here on both ends. They said to leave an inch hanging off, so I did. And we're going to turn this edge under right here, just like we did on that piece 9. Remember that? So we'll just do this, like this. And I'm gonna see if I can get this to lay nice, because see, it's already doing this. I don't like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna want to clip that before you understitch it. That's my tip. And then, like I said, clip it, then get over here and press it in this position, then open it up and then do the understitch. Just trust me on that. You're going to get a nice flat waistband if you do it in that order. I'm literally turning into a home ec teacher. And you know how like people will say, oh my God, I just sounded like my mother. That's how I feel about some of the tips I give now. I'm like, oh my God, I sound like that home ec teacher that I just didn't like. So yeah, anyway. All right, so here we go. This is how this is looking right now. Okay. There's the little channel for the adjustable waist. We'll put this aside right now, and now we're going to grab these pieces, the 12 and the 13, all right? And on the 12, this one right here, which is your outer waist. Yeah, outer waist. There's a narrower end. Did I grade this seam? I didn't grade it. No, that's another option. You could grade the seam allowance if you wanted. It depends probably on what you're sewing it in. Like my corduroy, it could probably stand it, but it's really not that bulky. But you're right. Like look at that little ridge I'm getting right there. You might want to grade it. Definitely clip it and iron it. It's a waistband. All right. Where was I? All right. So we're going to cut I'm pretty sure 2 of these. I'm going to only cut 1 for now. 2 3/4 of an inch long. All right. All right, it does look like you do it to both 12s. It doesn't say that though. Place elastic at the end of the outer front waistband on the right side, meaning I'm pretty sure they mean the right side as in the right side of the fabric, not the right waistband. Centered in the middle, baste and 1/4 inch. I'm just going to do the one they show in the picture just for now, and I may be going back to do the other one. It doesn't say repeat for the other side. That's why I'm being cautious right now. Like this, all right? I am pretty sure you're going to do it on both, though. I don't know why you wouldn't. Yeah, I'm going to do it on both. You must have to do it on both because it's not like the waistband is asymmetrical, so oof, I hope that's right. This is the front. Is that what you mean, Christina? Okay. All right. All right. There we go. Both of our waistbands. Is that better? All right. That there. And then we're going to do the same thing with the, chalk the notches because we're going to do some more binding again. And they have a, oh yeah, see this little notch here? It's actually letter P. Oh, thanks, Eliza. I thought that was kind of cute. I'm like, oh, there's a notch with a letter on it. Like they lettered it. Okay. So we're going to mark our notches here on the lower edge where we're going to bind. I didn't clip these notches. That's funny. Okay. I think because I saw all these markings and I was like, ooh, let's just wait for that one, There. And there. Oh, you can't even see that one. There. There. And there. I think up here is where we have our buttonhole, and that's probably where we tack the elastic. That's what I'm going to guess. Okay. I'm going to keep that piece out since there's still some more markings on it. And at this right here, we're only going to bind up to this letter P. Yeah. Yeah, and then the buttonhole is the that slit. So I'm going to do a faced buttonhole right now before I put this binding on. So you don't have to do this. If you want to put a buttonhole in with your buttonhole, like your machine. My machine doesn't do a buttonhole. I'd have to go get my home machine out, and this will just be faster. So I'm going to just do a little faced buttonhole. And we're going to go to the iron and we're going to interface this little thing, this doohickey. Let me get a little piece of interfacing. Oh, here's a little piece. Perfect. All right. Why aren't I... Oh, I was going to say, wow, there's a delay. Big time delay. All right, so this is my button. I have 2 sizes printed. That's why you're seeing double markings right here. And I'm going to get my chalk. And mark my buttonhole here on that chalk right there. So we just need a little facing. It's actually almost perfect size. I'm gonna, I think I'm just gonna curve it here like this. These scissors leave a lot to be desired. Okay, they were just chunking it up. All right, so let's make our interfacing here. I think this is the only piece with the markings, Christina. So you could just print out your waistband. That might save you a little bit. All right, so we're gonna interface this little facing here. Boop, boop. Everything gets a boop lately. All right. Oh, maybe I should interface that. Hello. That's really what I planned on doing when I came over here. Like that. And where's this one at? This one is right here. There we go. Okay. Get all our little accoutrement. There we go. And now let's mark that buttonhole on the right side here. I can see it right there. And then let's measure how long it is. Okay, it's an inch. Now that's the width of your elastic, so make sure you actually do that full width, all right? Here we go. I hate it when I do that, when I do the marking and then I'm like, oh wait, it needed to be on this piece, you know? The piece I'm actually gonna sew on. All right, so that's about where that goes, and then this one goes right here. All right, and then I'm just gonna pin this on here real quick. And I'm gonna double check it. I'm gonna stitch it down. So I'm hoping that it'll be fine. All right, so time for another color. There we go. Right here. And then this one. Right here. All right. I still want that. All right, so I'm gonna sew my buttonhole. I'm gonna reduce the stitch length here. If you're in my guild and you got the buttons and buttonholes skill building session, this is in there. Exactly right. I feel like I could have made that a little bit longer. So I'm going to do the unthinkable and make it a little longer right now. YOLO, right? All right. Trim these threads. And I'm going to use my seam ripper to get the hole going here. Just like I do with usual, like any buttonhole, really. Cut it. I want this to be a little deeper here. Let's see, how'd I do? Cutting, not bad. All right, and let's turn it to the wrong side. I haven't really made many of these, just so you know. Right, Nancy. Tiny, impossible sharp scissors, right? I love those little things. Okay. There's my little buttonhole. We'll press it before I top stitch it down. And let's do this one now. There we go. If you had your, if you're sewing along with me and you have a buttonhole attachment, you're like tapping your foot waiting for me. Sorry. Yeah, that works. Check out the other side. I'm just making sure I cut right into that little, the corner. Barbara's the one who taught me the name of this type of buttonhole when I was coming up with the skill building session. She's like, are you going to cover the Spanish snap? Do you want to know why it's called the Spanish snap? All right, let's see if we can get it to do it. So when you turn it like this, I'll put it near the microphone, but you go like that, and it goes snap. It's the snap of a mouse. Like, it's very, very subtle, but on some, I actually did hear it go like that. It was kind of cool. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. Let me bring a piece over. I wasn't going to top stitch. Oh, yeah, the top stitch, exactly. Thank you, Christina. Oh, yeah, look at that. All right, that works. This one works better. Perfect. Thank you for reminding me of that. It was a good tip. Yeah, you want to make sure, because a 1-inch buttonhole, if you put your bar tacks at that end, you're not going to have a big enough buttonhole. You need to put your bar tacks outside that length so that you know you have the full length of that marking on the pattern. And that's what it looks like. I love that that one went through a mouth. Hello, I'm a buttonhole. I'm feeling really goofy today. All right, let's top stitch it down. I'll do it from the wrong side. I don't have to do this, but the top stitching, but I want to, and so it will be visible like that. Do you tell? Do you tell what? Did I miss something? What did I just say I would tell? Oh, the Spanish snap, yeah. It's supposed to go snap when you pull it. Yeah, there you go, Leah. Those look pretty good, though. I haven't done many of these. Let me see if I get the focus good. The leaf makes it look kind of wobbly, but there's the other side. It feels really sturdy, I have to say. I want elastic. All right, let's bind this. Okay. So right sides together. So this is one thing too, like I'm pretty sure they don't say to turn this, the binding down and line it up to notch P. So this is the notch, let's see, I think it's, let's make sure. Notch P is at the one, at the narrower end right here. So this little notch right here, that's where the elastic, the binding is gonna stop. I don't know what that is, Barbara. Did I just bring up some childhood trauma? I'm sorry. Let me make sure. I read this a couple times to make sure. It like I said, it doesn't fray. Binding doesn't, and it will be flatter if you don't. So, all right. So we're gonna line up the cut edge of this binding to notch P. There, right sides together, and we're gonna sew 1/4 inch. Don't pull your binding like I'm always telling you to do. Don't do that this time. You don't really need the benefit of that. And it will just draw in your waistband. Why does this feel, oh, there's a seam right here. I couldn't even see that seam. I was like, why is it so bulky right there? Oh, I still have the short stitch length down. There we go. I was like, dang, that was really slow. All right, now let's do this one here. Okay. Oops. $67 people here. Thanks for coming. Any of you making the Meriam trousers? Or are you just chilling with me while you sew? All right, I'm just cutting it right there at the P, and then we're gonna go serge this, or I mean, iron it. All right, and then turn it to the inside. Move that out of the way. And let's remember to bring that back with us, because I think we're going to need it in a second. Oh, so the other thing I was talking about the other day about my iron is sometimes my hand gets close down here, and this right here is really hot, and that's really hot. Like all of this is really hot. So I'm learning to keep it, and there's a button right here, so I have to keep my hand right here. If you have a really large hand, this may not fit you very good, just so you know. I'll be honest. Unless you're more nimble than I am, which is very likely. So, are you, Taya? Nice. I really want to make those again. I was even thinking of using the blue linen from the shirt I'm making in the skill building session, but I needed it for that. So maybe I have something else though. I have this floral. It might be a little too much, but you know. I know, you never know, Ray. You never know what magic might happen if you don't fussy cut, obviously though, right? Okay, so now we want a 1 3/4 inch piece of elastic. I feel like I shouldn't be giving out those measurements, and I keep forgetting not to. I try not to give out measurements for people's patterns, elements, you know. That's my bad. All right, so let's put this one like the picture, and then we're going to, yeah, use those little, that's what they are. So these little circles right here, that you're going to line up your elastic to those little circles there, and they should line up so that they're going to go through the oh, we forgot to finish the binding. Let's do that. Sorry, it looks so finished. Let me finish my binding. Stitch in the ditch. You know what I love about that kind of buttonhole is how flat it is. And it doesn't drop the fabric. Like it looks just, look at the profile of that, you know, like it's totally smooth. Very nice, you know. There's some advantages to that. Oh, bummer, Barbara. yeah, that lining. Yeah, it's on in their sale section. Sailor, what was it called? Sailor Mary or something like that. We figured out it was like pirate tattoo inspired. All right, let's see. We put this wrong side up, okay? And then we need the little, these little circles here. Like this, and we're going to line up that edge like that, and then we'll put our elastic. And let's see, do we butt it up against the circles? Yep, lining it up. And it should extend past the buttonhole. And it does. I would honestly make sure it's just centered in your buttonhole. Don't like, you know, go by the circles if your buttonhole got a little bit off from them. All right, now secure this really well. Remember, it's going to get all the stress of you sitting down and getting up. I'm going to put 2 rows. I know elastic. Trust me. You really want to make sure that it's not going to pop out. Probably could have done it from the right side so I can make sure it looks good too. We're going to make this fabric popular again. I need to look it up. I really need to remember to look it up because I really want to see the other fabrics that were in this group because it's so quirky. All right, let's do this one here. And let's put our paper down here. Butt it up against those circles. Like I said, center it over your buttonhole and then stitch it down. I'm actually going to straighten this out a little bit too. Do 2 rows. I'm wondering if in some cases you might be able to pull these pants on and off without unzipping them. Like, I wonder how much these are going to adjust, you know? Like, most pants that have a fly on the front and elastic across the back, I don't need to always, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't need to always unzip them. Okay, so here we are. This is what this is looking like right now, okay? And now we're going to skip to, no, we're still okay. We already skipped, did we already skip the, this is where we skipped, got it, okay. Now we're going to sew these 2 together. So we're going to put these right sides together. And remember you have your elastic at that end there. Why does this feel so much smaller? Put this one. Oh, really, Amy? Oh. I'm going to check it out. Maybe I need a shirt to go with it. Okay, I put little eyeballs because I needed to read this one through. So first we're going to stitch around this perimeter and we're going to go along this interior curve here, down the short end and up to our binding seam right here. All right. And let's see, is that at the full seam allowance? Pretty sure. And you can poke your elastic through this hole now if you want while it's easy to see in there. Come here. There we go. Like, while it's easy. This time we'll clip the waistband too. I just don't see the seam allowance. Okay, I'm just going to stick with my seam allowance then. All right. Pivot. And then go along this top edge here. I'm going to line all these up here. Like, keep that inner circle or curve at the top lined up. My corduroy is pushing it away. That's why that you see it dipping down a little bit. That's the disadvantage with working. You see it? Can you see that? It's like pushing it away. You can probably see the wrinkles. Not my favorite fabrics to sew, fabrics with piles. Now, don't catch your elastic along the edges here. You just want to catch the end down here, but try and go along the edge there. So let your presser foot go on top of the elastic. Otherwise, it'll push it away. All right, and then I'm going to try and put my needle down right next to it. But I'm going to try and push my elastic away a tiny bit. I hate it when I catch things in like this, you know. Okay, this is wider, So I'm just going to line it up with the binding seam. A little bumpy there. I can't get it straight. Okay. We'll just let that go. All right, so I'm going to trim around here. But I still need to read that little thing there. Open the waistband. Press seam allowance towards the inner front waistband. Towards what understitch this inner front waistband. Oh, starting from the 3 inches from the center front, getting as close to the sewn as possible. Okay. Why would you not clip that first and then turn it? All right, I'm also going to clip this curve. And then let's grade the seam too. I'm going to trim around this corner here. Let's try grading it. If you grade it before you clip it, it'll be less messy. Your Mitchells are done. Well, tell us all about them. Congratulations. What'd you use for your fabric? Oh yeah, Barbara, I totally know what you mean. Sometimes it can be really hard to manage that, but just keep practicing with it. You'll get better at managing it, and it'll make those really wide widths worth doing it too. So, how do you guys deal with your fabric if you're not doing that? Okay, wait. I'm gonna stitch this one, then we're gonna iron them both, and then I'm gonna come back and understitch it. I feel like my interfacing shrank my pieces. Look at that. They just feel a little funky, you know? All right, so let's do this perimeter again. Essex linen in view B, wide legs of drapery. Ooh. Margaret, you're in the guild, right? Are we going to see a picture? All right, here I am at the elastic again. Go along that end. I kind of want to make sure I'm getting that, but okay, I'm going to push the elastic away a little bit. Just feeling for it in there so I don't catch it. And that's where it's the same exact spot. When I'm getting away from the elastic, like veering away this way, that's when it starts pushing my presser foot, and I get it a little bit off. All right, so let's get to this. I went a little past that time by accident. Oh yeah, I mean, exactly. You know what I've done for that, Christina? I used to have a like a way to hold the roll, and it would hold it horizontally under my table on a spindle, and then I would pull it up onto my table. I did that for vinyl for a long time because it was hard to get it onto that thing, but worth it. And I just found a old fabric spreader from a factory. The accordion folding thing, it's in the shirt button-up sew-along. It's in the first week content, and it's just a short little video on how I fold my fabric. You're sewing another shirt for yourself time, Karen? Nice. You just finished another pair. I have to pick one. Okay, wait. It's telling me to run an ad, so I'm trying to. Okay, I'm going to go iron this. We're going to come back and understitch here. Oh, wait. I'm going to grade the seam again. I'm not much of a seam grader, but you know, because the corduroy is so much thicker than my lining, maybe I should have interfaced the lining so that it could compete with the corduroy. So let's clip this curve here. We're almost to all the fun part of putting this together now. We've assembled our pieces. We're getting to the good stuff. Yeah, so you can find things like that by shopping at like pattern drafting places where they sell pattern drafting paper. And then you can put your rolls like that on those. There are also vertical stands, because I've worked places where we had multiple papers. So we would use multiple different pattern papers for different pieces. Wait a second, I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. I need you and you. Let's see if I can turn this right side out. So at some of the bigger places I did pattern drafting, they had different colored papers for all the pattern pieces. This is before computers. So the all your main pattern pieces, like self, you know, stuff like that, would be, oh, let's just pull on that. Hey. Would be like just the manila color. And then any lining pieces would be made on blue paper. And it's the same weight as the manila. It's just in a different color. All your interfacing pieces would be on this pinkish color, and contrast pieces would be on green. And so because of all those really heavy rolls of paper, they had this like thing where they all stood up like this. It was like a stand and a spindle. And some of them, the more sophisticated ones, would even like rotate. And then you could put all of your rolls on this carousel. Yeah, so it was really cool. I've also seen them where they have a cutter. It's more like just like a bar, right? Hard to keep up with chat sometimes. It is, Karen. Trying not to iron the heck out of my elastic there. Okay, look at how much smoother that is by clipping it. You see that? It's not pulling, and I haven't understitched it yet, obviously, but yeah, anyway. The paper roll, lazy Susan, exactly. There's a few different ways to do it, but it's those places that have to hold heavy paper rolls, that's the kind you want to hold your fabric. A lot of the others just aren't strong enough. Yeah, exactly, Christina. That's exactly it. Yeah. The first time I'd seen them was in design school, and I'd only ever seen like one or two of them after that because, well, like one of the companies I worked for wasn't in downtown LA. So to get that kind of equipment, they just wouldn't ship it up there. You know what I mean? Like they just had their other workarounds, and they just weren't going to do all those different papers. They were a big company, but they just didn't fuss around with stuff, you know, like that, convenient stuff like that. Oh my goodness, you lost 2 seam rippers and you can't do it. I would be lost if I lost my seam ripper too. That is a bummer. Look at how this is looking. This is so exciting. I am so glad I did the Spanish snap. It's just kind of fun, you know? Yeah, so I used to work next to this factory, and that factory went out of business. It's a whole long saga about it. It was really sad because the people who had taken over the factory from the last factory that went out of business was this really amazing children's wear company for outerwear apparel called Aurora Designs, and I did a bunch of pattern work for them. And when they went under, they sold off all kinds of stuff, and that's where I got all the thread that I have and the fabric spreader. And so the fabric spreader was this horizontal way to hold the roll of paper, but it wasn't for paper, it was for fabric, and that thing could bolt to the top of a table at the end, and then you could put the fabric on that and then roll out the fabric onto the table, and then you can go back and, you know, like you could just do multiple layers. And so I had that thing, and I used it to hold my vinyl. So, and we would do it for when we would do a cut. We would use it as a fabric spreader. And some of those are really sophisticated. And there's these rails on the side of your table, and it rolls along the table, laying the fabric down, which is nicer because it doesn't stretch the fabric out. And the fabric just kind of floats and lands as the layer. And so you move the whole thing, and it rolls the fabric out. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm off topic. You guys are like, stop talking. Okay, so where you need to do this 3 inches of understitching along the top edge of the waist. I'm starting 3 inches from center front. I'm assuming this is center front. And then getting close as sewn in as possible. All right, so 3 inches from center front. Starting right there. Right here. Just put a little pin in this, and we're going to open this up. I'm going to go as far back here as I can. I could probably get further, though, if I started from here. Yeah, so let's do that. Oh, yeah, rolls for carpeting. Those things are huge, though. All right, so we're going to understitch this, pushing the facing, or the seam allowance towards the lining, the facing inside. And we're going to go as far as we can. You're not going to be able to go all the way, and that's okay. I used to get mine from places like you can get them from Comar. Well, I don't know if it's called Comar anymore. It was 3A Thread and Supply, or Comar, and one bought the other. All right, so there's our understitching there as far as I could go. And we'll do the same on this side. Like this. Just make sure that it's not too wide. Because that bar, like what I liked about ours is that we could move the ends closer, like it was sliding and adjustable. So we could slide the holder, you know, it was like this, and the bar would sit on the 2 Ys, right? And the Ys that held the bar could slide together like this. But so it could be really wide for wide fabrics. But here's the deal. If you put it on something that's a little narrower, that bar sticks out. And mine was pretty like old school. So it was literally like a cut pipe. And we did all kinds of crazy things to protect ourselves from that cut pipe. I finally had someone cut it for me. The broom handle won't hold it. It would break. And I don't think they're long enough either. I like the MacGyver idea though. You really just need a trestle with the pipe. And the trestle that's holding the pipe needs to be probably tethered to one another so that they can't just fall over. All right, this is looking good. What do you think? Here's our elastic coming out of the buttonhole here. Okay. What's next? Okay, now we're going to skip over to view B right here. Okay, I don't have my cliff notes. So here we go. All right. Undo the zipper. We're going to put the waistband on now. Well, there's a lot of pattern pieces here. I don't think we do. Wait, did we do the side seam yet? I need to go back and look. We may have done the side seam already. Sorry. Yes. Okay. I forgot to sew the side seam together. We got to do that. Sorry. After the fly. I forgot my notes. I just couldn't finish all my cliff notes. All right. So for the view A. Oh yeah, we are just going to sew all this together like a regular side seam. Yeah. Okay. It's just that this is separate. We're going to treat it separate when we sew the waistband on. All right, so I don't think I need to know anything Using a ham for what? Pin front leg and back to along the side seam. So finish seam allowance and press tears using ham lower pocket opening. Repeat with the second seam. Okay. And then what about the, and then the inseam too. All right. Oh, you found it in the bit. Oh, that is the major culprit for me too. I find things in there all the time. It's often the first place I look now because it's like right here. All right, let's get caught up here with where I'm supposed to be. I'm glad I did this after putting the zipper on though, you know? Are those magnetic, Shim? They're not, right? They're made from aluminum. I wonder if you could glue a magnet to one and glue a magnet to your machine. One of the things I did with this pin cushion was I put a little magnet here so that it'll stick to my machine bed. I just caught my thread. It's about to cause me all kinds of problems. There we go. This is my break. Oh, that's Karen's break. Exactly. Her break is over. Back to the seam ripping grind. All right. I'm going to do a longer stitch length because of the corduroy. It's like sewing through pudding, you know? Are there many finished versions of these in the hashtag yet? I didn't see any, but I was wondering if I was getting the hashtag wrong. What is that sound I'm hearing? Everything looks okay. That sound. What is that sound? What is that sound? Let's check the bobbin. Nope, it's good. Rip, rip. All right, let me get my little... I hear this little clickly click noise. All right, we'll do this side seam. It wasn't the bobbin, yeah. I feel like it's not that. Huh. Everything looks good. Oh, this isn't in the right spot. I don't know why that would make that noise though. When I was changing the thread on my serger the other day, I was the little thread guides right before the last thread guides that go right before the needle. That whole little like piece, that metal plate, it just popped out of my serger. I was like, uh-oh. It just popped back in though, so. Yeah, so do you guys know, do they not do testers? Maybe they don't do testers. Like, and then they have them release their versions, you know what I mean? Does anyone know about that? I mean, I know they test their pattern. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like, yeah, usually everyone's like, I had the privilege of testing the blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, your feed is really full. I don't, Shem. Besides batting, there is like, when you get into the world of synthetics, oh, maybe Michelle knows. There are things like that because the other aspect is that they'll wick moisture. Like the layer that goes against the body should wick moisture away. Huh. That's interesting. I really wanted to, you know, look over someone's shoulder for the answers to the test. See, Eliza, this is why, you know. No, I'm just teasing. Because I was thinking, like, maybe I should look to see if someone else has made this so I can get any tips. But, Zorb. Yeah, there you go. That actually does sound familiar. That's not a weird question at all, Shim. And I'm sure there's people who have made period panties here. I'm trying to think what other applications besides that they use absorbent things for. Yeah, bamboo, hemp, fleece. Okay. So if you get into the diaper making world, you might find a lot of options. All right, so I'm going to offset this inseam here. I'm just trying to remember, does this go... Yeah, it goes that way, yeah. There's a lot of pant on my table right now. I'm just going to pin this so I can let go of it. I want to get to this notch right here, and then that way I can ease between the knees. I love saying that. Yeah. There you go. Karen has it. There might be something like that in Reddit. On Reddit. I don't know if you go on there, but that's what I've noticed is that people really get into the nitty-gritty of things like that there. And it's not a space where like a blogger or anybody's gonna get like shout outs, you know, like they may get shout outs for technique by someone, but I guess what I mean is people will say, I tried that person's method, but it didn't work. Like you're gonna see some like honest chatter because it's so anonymous. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Quilted bamboo. Interesting. I wonder why bamboo. Bamboo is so, you know, it's not really a natural fiber. Yeah, exactly. Just a safety measure. What was that noise? You know what? I think it's my spool of thread. I have enough thread, but I will say I do not know how anybody can live off tiny spools of thread. Like one spool filled my bobbin. So hopefully I don't need another one. Breathe. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about the softness for bamboo. And it's not like it's a synthetic, you know, but it is very contrived. You know what I mean? All right, so we're going to overlock these three seams, and then we'll be back on the waistband. Just an interlude. Does anyone ever French seam corduroy? I could see needle cord, but that's about it. Or pinwheel. Well, I don't mean to be provocative, Lynn. Sorry. I just mean that the way bamboo fabric or yarn is made is a very synthetic process. Like, it's basically like changed into a different type of consistency and extruded into the fiber. I'm not an expert in this. I just know enough to get in trouble, obviously. Oh, there we go. Jay Lucas has an option. Liz sews. Yeah. It's one of those sneaky fibers that you think is natural, but what it goes through to become a natural fiber is quite toxic. If you're a knitter and you want to learn about it from someone who really knows her stuff, I would look at Clara Parks. She's very knowledgeable about stuff like that. Plus, she's really funny. There's a lot of experts in it, so yeah. Yeah, it's the same for rayon. I'm pretty sure, like, I might be wrong here. We did a whole live stream on fabrics, and I kind of boned up on this. I crammed for that too, Eliza, but I did a lot more prep. That Tencel and Lyocell are like more greener alternatives than rayon. But I could be wrong. It might be viscose. I'm really terrible at sciencey stuff like that. So, yeah. Just saying. Because a lot of people think rayon is also a natural fiber. And, you know, technically, yeah, it's made from wood pulp. But if you knew what they had to go through in order to get there, then it would feel a little less like a natural fiber. Okay. Exactly. Rayon takes a lot of chemicals to create as well. Okay. I just want to look at my side seam at the bottom of the pocket here and make sure it all got caught in nicely right here. Because I feel like that could be a point, you know, that it might not look as nice as I thought it did. So I'm just looking here. I'd probably also put a bar tack here eventually. It might be in the instructions to do that. Okay, we have pants. Try on your pants. Try on your pants right now. Okay, where's my clip notes? My Saremy notes. So notes. Okay. All right. Undo the zipper. Check. Okay. Left hand, side, front. Let's put these right side out. This is another opportunity, another time where I'm not going to get to sew the waistband the way I always do from the inside to the outside. But we've already finished the inside of the waistband with the binding, so we don't need to. Ooh. So exciting. All right, so we're going to get the piece with the long elastic on it. I'm trying to use all my circa 2022s. I only had 3, I think. That was my last one. So I want to make sure, oh, it would be a good one on this one too. So I could be like, oh, those came out in 2022, you know. See you, Shim. Have a nice weekend. Viscose and rayon are the same thing. That's what it is. Tencel and Lyocell are, yeah, much more environmentally friendly. I'm forgetting one, and it's related to Lyocell, I'm pretty sure. Maker's Fabric has some interesting information on it on her website. And then I would just visit the like brand name site because it's interesting, like what they tell you about it. Okay, so we have our waistband here, and this is obviously this one, and this one goes to this one here, and we're gonna put those right sides together. Oh, maybe I wasn't supposed to go across this. Was I not supposed to go across that end? I swear that's what it did. Was I not supposed to go across that end? Oh, I wasn't. I apologize. Here we go. I did something wrong here. This little end isn't supposed to be sewn quite yet. All right. All right. So we're going to line up this pocket opening edge to this finished edge right here. See that? It's really coming together. And strangely, this hangs off a lot. I'm not sure why. But there was a notch on here. Here's my notch. You can't see it because the interfacing closed it. But so line up that notch on your waistband and put this right sides together. And then line up this end here with the end of where the binding finished, right? Okay. Movie time. What movie are they going to watch? Oh, Modal. Modal. I think that's, yeah, that's what it is. I knew it had a D in it. All right, we're going to sew this right sides together, right? Yeah. Make sure this isn't like floofing up into there. Remember your pocket, you're keeping this pocket out of the way, remember? Because we finished that edge. That's the dart. I was like, what's that bump? It's just the dart. Everything's fine. Our sewing drama emote could be, you know, something along the everything's fine. It could be like a little mask on fire. Hi Carla, how's it going? All right, so all this hangs off because you're gonna tidy it up in just a second. I'm not sure why that is. It kind of bugs me because it makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong, you know? All right, and so now you're gonna flip this seam up right into here, like that. Does it really go that far down? I guess so. Okay. And then we're going to sew across the end here. So let's put this right sides together, right? This end right here. And this is when you want to make sure that you don't sew this at an angle like this or like that. Make sure you're kind of in line with your center front here. You might need to adjust it later, like when you see it all zipped up and overlapping before you finish it. Like that. And then we're just going to go cut. I'm going to trim around this corner here. And I'm going to reinforce this corner because I just cut off the back stitch that sewed this edge together. All right, so I'm just going to sew around this corner. I made my stitch length a little longer, or shorter, sorry. Whoa. All right, so that's what we got going on here. Let's get rid of this little thread here. Still got some corduroy berries happening. All right. Turn the waistband, right side out, creating a sharp corner, fold inner waistband down, tuck both ends of the bias binding into the wrong side, press again, make sure the bias binding is tucked, pin the waistband closed, stitch the ditch from the right side. All right. I'm just making sure. Oh, this is one interesting thing. Open up the right-hand side. This is actually where I got a little confused last night. because there's a stitch, there's 4, and you finish this whole one. And on this one, it repeats this little, pin the second outer front waistband to the right front, right sides together, match center front notch in the waistband with center front notch in the front, and the waistband should extend at least a 1/2 inch. Okay, oh, never mind. Okay. How is this not different than this right there? Is it because we go through the zipper teeth? I wish I knew what is different about this step than this first step. Night, Mullen. Okay. Let's go to the iron. And we're just going to press this waistband now so that it all looks ready to stitch down. It's right here. This is what it's looking like, all right? And you want to like angle this edge here where the binding is, kind of exaggerate it like that. You don't want it to creep out along the center front here. Like, let's see if we can maybe even fold it from the wrong side to really make sure, like that. All right. I would really like this to get caught in this next stitching, so I'm really going to push it in there up so that maybe it'll get caught, yeah, like that, right there. Okay, let's see what it looks like on this side. Yeah, so we don't want that to show, so let's pull it a little bit more. All right. Okay. All right, so that's what I was doing here is, first of all, I'm going to get rid of this little thread right here because that might cause me some problems later by poking out. All right, and so that's a neat little berry there. Okay, so I'm going to open this up and look at it. You see how this seam allowance here, it's kind of pushing against, so I want that to lay nice and flat. So I'm really going to fold this under here. This really hangs down low. Like, I kind of want it to be like this, you know? I think I would make this lining, if I could, I'd make it a little narrower, you know? All right, so we want that all the way up there. And now we're going to stitch in the ditch. But see, look, my lining is showing on the right side. That's what's bugging me right now. So let's I hate trimming this seam allowance down, but I'm going to trim this down a little bit right here, the short end. I don't like trimming those down because they can cause another problem that's really hard to deal with. So that's why I hardly ever trim those. But now I can kind of push this to the inside more, exaggerate it a little bit. It's nice and flat. It still shows a little bit. All right. I'm going to set that on there. And then from underneath, I'm going to pull my lining. I'm going to like over rotate it a little bit. We're going to stitch in the ditch. All right, now I've got that in there with my needle down. I'm going to make sure everything is looking good. Make it all nice and flat, just like this. Don't get any torquing, so make sure, like, just really arrange all this, make it nice and flat, okay? Because you might get a little torquing. You're really not going to want to remove this seam. Oh, and make sure your elastic is poking through your buttonhole right now before you keep sewing. All right, so I'm getting to this corner down here. This corner is actually really easy to deal with. I'm kind of surprised. So that's nice. All right, so that's what it looks like. This is what it looks like on the inside. So see, that's turned up. That I turned back as well. My elastic got stitched through, by the way. I don't know what to say. Except that's really annoying. Okay. It turned out so beautiful. You know? I'm going to pull this a little bit like this so that I get the thread on the back side here. I don't want that cut edge showing. All right, so I'm going to somehow pull my elastic out of the way. Learn from me. So maybe making sure, and maybe I would raise this up. Just depends. Like, we don't know what's to come and how all this lines up, you know? So we need to stitch this down between here and here. All right. Let's do that again. Of course it came unthreaded. Of course, right? There we go. No. Don't do that. You know what? You don't have to do that. Why do you have to do that sometimes? All right. So please don't stitch the elastic. Everything lines up so nicely. Kind of a bummer that happened. Okay, look at that. I barely missed it. Phew. Right, Rachel? You probably missed at the beginning where I was like, I literally crammed for this last night like it was a test. I have to admit, I'm a little nervous to make mistakes on Cashmerette patterns. So I wanted to make sure I got it right. And plus, I just wanted to understand it better. Okay, Terry. Yeah, I was literally cramming. You can still see my lining there. It's kind of a shame. But that looks really nice. And my elastic, I hope it's not stitched down in there, you know. But it looks like it's loose in here too, so that's good. Phew. All right, now we know for the other one. So let's do the other side. And I still can't figure out what the difference between this is and this one is. I'm going to read it for the... It says, the waistband will extend past the center front by 2.5 inches. But then you stitch it, you cut it off. You know what it is? I think they just didn't want to have a left and right, and I don't blame them at all. I think that's all it is. Yeah, it's pretty brand new. It came out like 3 weeks ago, I want to say. I really jumped on it. I really wanted to know how to sew this, so. Okay, so where's my other front? Here's my other front right here. Okay, and we're gonna line this up. Putting down, I'm gonna put it down like this. I'm gonna get this all out of the way like this, right? And I'm gonna line it up at the pocket here, like this, that right there at that where the binding was finished sewing there. And then, let me get that better. And then all the way to the center front there. So see, I shouldn't have sewn that shut, sewn this edge shut. So we're gonna, I'll just take it out. Let's just take it out so it looks more like the directions. We'll just take it out for a little bit. My bad. But I already trimmed the corner, so I gotta be careful. There we go. I'm gonna line this up and I'm gonna let this hang off the edge there. So line up the notch to that edge there. I can't get anything to slide because it's corduroy. That's why I'm struggling. Oh, interesting, Rachel. I feel like I was looking at something the other day and I'm like, is this it? Like I was looking at a hashtag and I was in the top of the hashtag and I was like, there's no way I was in the top for whatever that was, because I don't like, especially because it was like my thumbnail for my schedule, which, you know, gets like 20 likes. So, you know, I was kind of surprised. So I thought, oh, maybe it's showing me what it thinks I want to see. I like seeing recent, not top. Like I can see mine being in the top for that, for like a recent one, because I had just posted it, but, you know. There's all the sewing, you know, Instagrammers. They're doing a little better than me. Okay, when you get to your center front, we need to make sure that these center front seams right here are going to line up. So let's kind of take a gander right now. So if we lay this down, see that? Like this is our fly, right? So this, you want your fly to match from left to right. So it's a good time to kind of check things out. All right, Michelle, have a nice weekend. Okay, so let's check that out. Right. Make sure you've done all this work on your waistband. Look at my waistband at an angle there too. After I told you, make sure you don't get it at an angle. Look at how much of an angle it is. That's really annoying. And my blue showing, my lining showing. What would I do differently to fix that? When I do my button and buttonhole, I'm probably going to kind of yoink the lining over, like this, pull it, so that it doesn't do that. I don't know what I would do. I imagine if you don't have a really heavy fabric, you could use self on the inside. Right, Nancy? All right, let's check this seam out here. I really don't like this little thread right here from my back stitch is peeking out. There we go. Why do I have that angle? You saw me sew a straight line. It's bad. All right, I will take that. That's fine. That's acceptable for me. All right, we're going to sew across the end of our waistband. Okay, I'm just going to laying this down here, getting it back in position, and I don't want to, you know, torque it. I really wish I would have interfaced this lining. It's just so weak compared to the corduroy. So that looks like I'm going to get an angle again. So let's see here. Let's take out a few of these stitches because I blended that edge in. There we go. I mean, it'd be nice if this one swung the other way to compensate. Yeah, right. I know, Barbara. I was thinking, I was like, would I do a little, just a little bit right there, you know? I don't know. All right, so we're gonna, I'm gonna trim these little edges here and the threads there. Pull these threads to the inside. Look at all this. And then we're gonna enclose this edge. Make sure your elastic is through the hole here. And then fold this up so that your binding is well away here, especially, well, the other one was more important. This one's the underside, but the other side was really important because you don't want the zipper to interfere with it. It feels like it's a little long. All right, so that works like that. I'm gonna pin this down. And now this time I'm gonna preemptively pin my elastic out of the way the best I can here. I'm gonna fold it. I'm gonna reach in there and fold it. Why not, right? All right, and then let's, okay, and then all this down here, this is pretty easy. Just get your threads in there. Pull your lining down so it's nice and flat. I'm really pulling it. All right, we're ready. Are we ready to rumble? Okay. Stitch in the ditch. Where's my elastic so I can worry about it? It's right here. We like worrying, don't we? Okay, make sure it's all nice and flat, right? Got a lot of pant going on here. Keep pulling it so that it's nice and flat where you're about to sew. You don't want to get any torquing. I really hope I don't run out of bobbin right now. All right, we're getting close to the zipper. I'm gonna pull that pin out right now because it's going actually right through the zipper. So be careful if you have metal teeth. Should have warned you on the other side. It's the first time in a long time when I sew a zipper waistband, I didn't have to worry about metal teeth. It's kind of nice. Okay. Okay. Let's check it out. Oh gosh, Nancy, right? Okay, well, I am not impressed with this waistband right here. It's really hard to get that to go in there so that it doesn't lump out, you know, right here. I think what I could have done was press this better and then maybe even understitch it right there. I don't think I could have. You're supposed to sew that at the end. All right, let's just keep going. Win some, you lose some, right? All right, we got our back waistband. Making some magic now. All right. Pin the outer back waistband and back waistband extension. Okay. All right. Flip over the end of the elastic. I still, oh, there it is. Okay. I was like, I still don't see where this is happening. Okay. I'm doing okay, Leah. Thanks. But I am hungry, but it's okay. I'm one of these weirdos that actually likes kind of being hungry sometimes. I don't like being hungry when I'm starting the stream, though. Like, that was a little bit like, oh, shoot. All right. This is the center back right here. So I'm just going to put my label on right now. You know. Get it out of the way. Something like that is what I'm thinking. This is the center back, right? That's the center back right there. Okay, yeah, okay. that is the notch right there. I just want to make sure I was looking at the right notch because there's quite a few. So let's put your label on. You don't want to forget after all this work. You don't want anyone claiming credit but you, right? Yeah, right, Nancy? I know. And I feel like I don't get hungry as much as I used to. And it just, I don't know. It makes me like feel like I'm in touch, like I'm actually in touch with like what my body is wanting. I mean, I like eating when I'm not hungry too. So there's that. Lately, I've been loving having a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios late at night. Oh, I didn't get that turned back very nicely today. I kind of want to get one more half stitch right there in the corner. There we go. My little label coordinates so well with this fabric. There we go. All right, so put this right sides together to your back. All right. Oh, there's a pin there still. We can get that. Make sure we didn't get our elastic. Perfect, perfect. We didn't really look at the inside of that one, but that's fine. All right, so we're going to line this up. And remember how you have this folded back? We're going to line that up right to the pocket edge. Is it all the way to here? I think it is. Right, oh, that's my husband's thing, Nancy, late night cheese. Yeah, right, Lee, I know, exactly. Okay, Amy, have a nice weekend. Wait, not right side. Wait, what, Fiona? Am I doing something wrong? Yeah, I only had like a little bit left of plain Cheerios. No, I had a lot left of plain Cheerios and a little bit left of the Honey Nut Cheerios, and I was like, no, I want a whole bowl, so I combined them and I added sugar. I just love that. Me too. Me too, Christina. Night cheese. That's awesome. Let's see. This goes. Yeah, so that's your lining. I'm just making sure. Okay, yeah, so we're going to go all the way. This folded edge goes all the way to this binding edge here. And then everything should be lining up to notches and things. Look at that notch right there. Must go to that fold. Let's just walk it along and see. I don't know if there's a notch for, oh yeah, there's a notch for this dart. Center back. All right, everything's matching, so I'm not even going to pin it. We're just going to go for it. Okay, put it on the outside. Oh, I did put it on the outside. You're right. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I do not want that there. That would be a tragedy. Not a tragedy. It's a little melodramatic. Yeah, it is. Thank you, guys. Oh, you guys saved me. You saved me. I probably would have left it, but the fact that I do have a choice, let's take it off. It's just so tempting to line it up on the corduroy. Good catch, everyone. Thank you, Fiona. Fiona's all right. So I'm like, wait. You know, like, certain things in chat when you're like, something about that makes me think, you know, that is telling me I did something wrong. The chat is so much more behind where I'm actually at. So sometimes it's too late. You guys try and warn me and it's just too late. It was just too tempting to put this on the mustard. Thanks, Ray. Phew. I mean, it wouldn't have been the end of the world, but, you know. You also needed to be putting belt loops in that I did not mention. So I'll try and remember to put those in the timestamps, like where those go. I don't wear belts anymore, really. I find that now that I make all my pants, I don't need belts, you know? And because of the way, you know, because of my belly, belts aren't that comfortable for me. So I just don't use them anymore. Kept waiting for me to flip it. Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine if you guys had like a little light you could turn on in here? All of you would be doing it. I don't know about that idea. Yeah, right, Terry? I used to love it for my ready-to-wear stuff because I needed them to keep, like, they were just a little too low rise to stay above my blurple of my belly, you know? And so I needed the belt to kind of hold it up there. This is going to stitch right through my label, by the way. Like when I do my last stitch, I can tell. All right, I don't have very many labels left. I'm going to have to get more. Just making sure it's parallel to this edge, and I can see the old stitching right there, so that's why I'm kind of using it as a guide. I'm not going to backstitch in the corner this time. I think it'll be better. And now this little guy, I can tuck you in like this. Like this. Still sticking with the mustard thread though. Can I stick you in there? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, well, that is a good reason, Christina. I know. I actually kind of like wearing my tool belt in the garden because I'll put so many things in my pockets. My pants will fall down. Those Sequoia cargo pants, they do fit me, but they are still just too big in the waist. And there's not an easy way to fix that. So I think what I'm going to do is cut into the ribbing of that waistband because it's rib. And then pull the elastic, make it shorter, and then just stitch it all the way through. I don't know, Leah. I think if I do, I don't know. I just thought it was such a weird thing to put my face on there. And I did it as just like because I could. Like, I was trying to figure out what the cost was to do the labels. And I was noticing that they could do so many colors. And I was like, I wonder if I could do this little, it was like I was working on this little graphic because someone else made that graphic of me. And she did it outside of what I'd asked her to do. And she was just like, oh, I also just kind of did this. I don't know if you're going to like it. And I loved that little cartoon of me. And so I was starting to be like, you know, this is actually, I like this, that it's not my face. And it's kind of a fun little thing and whatever. I just kind of liked it. I even know the outfit I was wearing and the like she took it off a picture from my stuff. And I just submit that little logo because it just happened to be right in front of me just to see. I wonder what it would cost to do something like this. And then when I saw that I could do that, I was like, oh, this is kind of funny. And my ego doesn't need it to say who I am or anything like that. I don't really care about that. But so yeah, I just got the labels. I got 300 of them at the time. And now I'm out. I have like 5 left. So I've been thinking if I do it again, I would like something on there because when I donate, you know, a totally finished piece, someone may want to know more about it. So, Fiona, you knew. I love that you knew that that was the outer waist and that the inner waist didn't have corduroy. All right, so we're going to sew this. So this folded edge goes to the bound edge of the pocket there. I ended up pinning it. Oh my gosh, my stitches fell off. I hate that when that happens. My back stitch fell off. Lately that's been happening, and it's really annoying. And it's my fault. Ouch. Oh yeah, Christina, exactly. I think that label company that I use, they're called Quality Woven Labels. It's a really generic term, so you got to like find their website. I think their prices are really affordable, but it is expensive. And the reason is, like, labels are one of those things that's actually just expensive no matter what. And when we used to order them for chicken boots, I would order 10,000 at a time to get the best price. And they were still expensive. You know, they're like probably like 30 cents each or something. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're doing something wholesale and retail, when you put something that is 30 cents and then you multiply it to get a wholesale price, you do like 1.6 times that, right? So then it's something like, now it's like a 45-cent item. And then you double that for retail, it's 90 cents of your price is just the little label. That's a lot of money. If you were to ask someone, oh, you know, would you buy this if it were $1 less? And half of them said yes. That's the way I look at it. Little things like that really add up. So when I started So-So, I didn't really feel like I should be buying labels. Like I didn't have an income to be doing this. It was just a fun thing, and I wanted something. And so I didn't want to get 10,000 labels, right? And anything less than that ends up being $1 a label. The channel emoji. I've actually thought about that, Rachel. I've even uploaded some to see what it would be like, because it would be kind of fun. What is this right here? This is just a lot. There's a lot of thickness right there. It's all those overlapped pieces. So like when I look at like labels, cute labels for sale, like Kylie and the Machine, right? I just think, oh my gosh, $2 per label. I know that that's actually a good price because it costs a lot to get labels made. I'll drop my instructions. I would love that if you guys all got your face. I eventually took her little drawing and I cleaned it up in Procreate and I added my birthmark. I made my hair a little whiter because I think she thinks my hair is blonde, and it's not, and not anymore. It hasn't been for a while. All right, so we've got our back waistband to the back of this pant here. What is this thread? So when you see threads like this, sometimes I go to the inside and I go, where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. Okay. All right, so we're going to press it up, right? And then we're also going to feed our elastic into that slot. Remember the slot we created right here? It's all coming together. And okay. Let me do all these steps here. Okay, so now we're going to feed our elastic in through this slot right here, okay? This is it. Hey, do you, Karen? That's funny. I know. I've actually, so before I even launched the guild, I actually designed a bunch of things for everybody. And then I was like, Saremy, calm down. All right. So I'm kind of thinking, well, let's just try it here. It's a lot of pant, right? I was about to turn them inside out, but let's pull this through here, okay? Let's lift it up and pull our elastic through here, right? You want this all to be nice and flat, right? Like that. It's happening. All right. My natural color was dirty blonde. When I was a kid, my hair was like this color. And then I grew up and it got like dirty blonde, brown. If I was in the sun, it would turn blonde, you know, that kind of thing. All right, so I don't have that chalk. That chalk boat has long since sailed. I'm pretty sure I needed that, and it's not there. So let's find that. That was not you. I think that was number 10. Number 10, right? Can I get a 10? Inner back waistband? Nope, not 10. Wait, this is the, yeah, I think this is it. Okay. Pretty sure that this, yeah, so you see these little dots right here? We need those. Yeah, it's a bit like Velcro. It works against me. Okay, so there's that. I didn't mark these circles right here, and that's what I should have done. Okay, so let's fold this along the circles like that. And then I'm going to put this like this on there. All right, and let's do it on the other side. All right, I'm lining this up. I'm taking like a 1/2 inch off the edge. I'm lining it up along the binding edge because we didn't turn that edge under. Just like this. And I'm putting this is really high up. Like that. Okay. So you're supposed to take this in here, right? And you're going to flip it up like this. Because remember, this is going to fold down, right? Boop, boop, boop. Line this up to here. I'm going to pin it in place before I stitch it, just to check it. It's a little rumply there. I mean, let's do it like this. I'm looking at this. All right, Sydney. Stop that. I'm looking at this right here. I feel like it needs to pull out a little bit. It's kind of at an interesting angle. I think now's a good time to try these on too. You can kind of get this in the right place. So if this were on me and they were more like curved right here, right? Do I think that would be okay? The elastic is pulling a little bit. Yeah, it gets a little wider right there. So let's see, if we stitch this down and we finish our waistband and we don't like the positioning of it, I think that I'm fine with popping out the stitches along the waist and adjusting it. You know what I mean? So I think that that's my backup plan right now. Like I want this to come up a little bit like this. But there's really not much room, so it would have to be narrower like that. Like that, you know? But that really pulls on that elastic. So what if we just let the elastic just a little, like 1/4 of an inch, all right? Yeah, well the elastic's way back here, see? you're not going to pull that out past. Yeah, I think that'll work. But this is what is bugging me right here. And I think that when it's on me and bending around my body, like curved, look, it lays nice. I'm gonna go for it. God, there's so much pant. All right, so we're gonna stitch this elastic down really well. I'm just gonna do 2 rows because you don't want this to pop out, right? Maybe I'll do it from the wrong side so I can see. I can see my original pinholes there. That's kind of helpful. You're only doing this to the lining, by the way. It seems like if the size had your waist size, you'd sew with the pattern. I know, but it felt like it was like buckling there, you know? It looks pretty nice. Yeah, right, exactly. Is any provision made for how firm your elastic? Are you supposed to test it? They actually say to use a non-roll, and non-roll is a lot thicker. I use braided. I'm a big braided elastic fan. That might make a difference. Non-roll's firmer. All right, let's do the other side. Okay. So same thing, we're gonna stick this elastic into this little casing. Maybe this one will lay a little bit differently. Let's see. This is really exciting. This is fun. Okay. So we're gonna like pull this all the way up to, there's my pin right there, right? And then remember, you're gonna flip it up like this. Boop, boop, right? Because this folds down. Okay, and let's see how this one looks. It feels like it pulls more. What are you? Where'd you come from? Here you go. Take care of you. All right. Yeah, that's what I think too, Terry. Yeah, and like Terry said, Christina, it's going to do this when you sit, right? And when you stand, it should be relaxed. But I think, like what Terry said, when it's the body's in there. Well, let's just keep going and find out. All right, so let's stitch that one down. Right, let's stitch this one down. Oof, it's a lot of pant. All right. Be neat about that reinforced stitching, just in case you have to take it out. I'm still doing two rows, but you want to be able to take it out. You know what I mean? So don't do the like back and forth, 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 and then you're later on going, wow, I really secured that. You know? And no, I needed it out. I'm going to trim up these threads because I forgot to do that. You can, Christina. That's awesome. Yeah, me too. I imagine you could put this whole thing on another pant too. Just a thought. Okay. I love this little thing. The back waistband will be secured down in 3 steps. I just feel like that's like, I like literal things like that. Okay, we want to put the waistband, stitch in the ditch from the right side, from the edge of the front pocket opening on one side to the edge of the front pocket opening on the other side. Okay, what's the other steps? Fold the front and top pocket out of the way and stitch the ditch from the end of the back waistband extension to the beginning of the last line of stitching. What's the third step? Repeat except for the other back. Okay, we got this. It's exactly, you lost where the buttonhole and the facing ended up. It's right here. We're not done with it yet. That's actually one thing I don't know how that works either. All right, so now we're going to stitch down our back waist. So I'm going to put this wrong side up like this, and we're going to start trying to clean all this up. All right, probably iron this. It's a little bulky through here, and you can see how it's pulling too. We have this pin. I'm like, what just poked me? Like, we have the pin still in there. All right, so push the seam allowance up, lining down. This is pretty bulky. I'm gonna tug it pretty good too. Sans a belt. Sans a belt. That's pretty funny. I feel like the word sans has kind of like fallen away from popular use. So sometimes I'll say, you know, sans fork, and someone wouldn't know what I meant. Okay, so we're going to top stitch this, the back waist seam here, up to here. Well, here, right here. We're going to do there, and then we're going to do there. We already did this, right? Wait, why is this different? Why can't I do the whole thing? I have to move this out of the way. That's why. Yeah, so you're going to have to go up to the pocket opening, and then you have to pick it back up again. Okay. What time is it? Oh, it's already 2. Okay. I won't probably be doing the button and buttonhole, hook and eye type stuff or hems. I'll just finish with this and I'm going to try them on. Ow, stop poking. This is when I get a little frustrated when I'm doing something. So I really wish that waist was clipped. The elastic's definitely adding tension. You can see it's scrunching it up. I'm just kind of pulling this down away from the waist up here and getting it as flat as possible. And I'm having to pull it apart, just so you know if you're having trouble that I am too. So see, there's a little ripple right there. We want that to be flat though. So let's see if we can get it. And I think if this edge were clipped, it would lay a little bit flatter. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Christina. Although back here it is a little less bulky, but I think you're right. So that was a good call on their part to not include that. It could have been like up to here, and you could have tacked it then, but that'd be it's more of like a custom thing to do, you know? Yeah, right, Libby? Oh, I know. That would be really fun. I can't remember. I feel like one of the places I worked had a, because one of the places I worked, we had the license to do Arizona, you know, the Sears brand, the kids wear. And I feel like we had denim pants for kids with adjustable waistbands. But the thing is, I worked on every single pattern there, and I don't remember when that like, who did that work, you know? Because I was the first pattern drafter, which meant I did all the patterns for the, you know, like at the beginning. And then they'd go to a show, and all the styles that would sell, those became production patterns, and I didn't do those. I turned over all my patterns to the production pattern drafters, and they would do that. So it wouldn't have skipped me. So I'm wondering if someone else had that license, and it was just marketed side by side with us, and we had samples in there. Because it feels like we had those. You know what I mean? I don't know. How did the directions tell me to do what, Nancy? I'm following the directions. Promise. I kind of want this to... oh well. Well, yeah, I'm going to fold this in a little bit more. It's so long. I'm just going around pinning the waistband here like this and pushing up the seam allowance in there. And then when I get to this area where the elastic is, we're going to sew those separately, but I'm going to pin it all right now. Yeah, right, Terry? Yeah. The Arizona line, it was a really big contract for us, and a good thing for our business. And that's when I worked at Bum Equipment, which was like a really iconic 80s brand. So we were doing Bum Equipment and Little Arizona. That's what it was, Little Arizona. And then a few other licenses. You never know who's making your clothes. You know, now I feel people know that, but back then they didn't really. It's kind of interesting, you know. Okay. All right. Are we ready? I'm going to just go back to that spot. Okay, so we're going to go pocket opening to pocket opening. So from like here all the way down, all right? You got this? You ready? You're ready. Let's do this. We want to see it. All right. Hold that. I'm going to move this pocket opening out of the way. See how it's in the way? That's why we're going to do this in 3 steps. Okay. I'm just going to get it started. And now I'm going to arrange everything. My presser foot's trying to go under this hole for the waistband, so don't let that happen. Okay. Was there one waistband button and then 3 buttonholes in the elastic? Yeah. Yeah. It's like you can buy that elastic, actually, the adjustable elastic. That stuff's great. I used to rip it out of my kids' pants when she'd outgrown them and they were ruined and I couldn't donate them. I would steal all that stuff. She was so hard on clothes. All right, my label's pinned out of the way here. My hands are doing a lot right now. They're really going like this, and I have really strong hands. So I'm really pulling this. This pin right here is a little bit distorting it. So I'm going like this and making sure that underneath the lining is nice and smooth and flat. I don't want to get any, torquing. So that's also why I'm pulling it like this, to kind of keep everything straight across from each other. I'm sewing right over my pins, by the way. Oh, no, it's pretty obvious where you need it to go, Nancy. It does feel a little awkward. Yeah, they still have that. That wasn't really a thing then. It was something different. It was similar, but not the same, All right, so now we're here at the beginning. So here's the other pocket opening. So we're going to go. This is totally something I would be like, I can go all the way to the front. and I think you could lift this up, but it's not really worth the trouble of it, just pick it up. Ooh. I felt like my bobbin was about to run out, and I'm like, not today. Not today, Sewing Fairy. Okay, so now we're gonna do this little section the rest of the way. So I picked up my front there, and I'm gonna try and get in there. Oof, it's tight. Okay, here we go. And this little folded up, yeah, it's really ugly. I'm gonna turn it in at an angle. I hope it stays like that, but I don't have high hopes. I may have to, maybe we hand stitch this shut, or maybe the other end of the elastic goes there. Wait. Oh yeah, look. Oh, I'll bet that's what happens. That's not wide enough. Is it? No. That's not wide enough by like a long shot. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. That makes sense. Okay, I'm going to take that out right now because I think that's the case. Okay, we're just going to take this out a little bit. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay. It's all coming together. I knew it would be obvious. Ooh, this fabric, is it digitally printed or something? It's very unforgiving of seam ripping. Might be. Oops. That's what I'm thinking. Don't you think? I think that's where that goes. I've been wondering where this goes. It's got to go in this little hole here. That's why I'm going to take it out. Elastic in hole. Yep. I'm right. I'm getting to the cavalier portion of my sewing, so I need to make sure I don't forget something. I think, though, that's all B. All right, I think we're good. Cool. All right, so let's see if I can get this a little wider. Would that fit if I did that? So we need this to fit like that. So it's gonna go like that. I'm just trying to hold it up to see how wide this needs to be. So this right here. Bye, Nancy. You got it? Yep, yep, Terry, you got it. Okay, but look at how much further down that is. So I think the thing I could do is I could take this seam out right here and lower it, right? And then it would match right there, right? If you are like, I am over this pair of pants, I'm almost done, I see the light at the end of the tunnel and you want to finish, this is your under pocket. So what you could do is when you stitch down your waist in the ditch here, when you get about here, just go straight to that point there. So yeah, it won't be stitched right here, but you'll have a stitch line showing through your pocket. That would be a backup plan. So yeah, it's very tricky to get in there. So are you guys down for me fixing that width there? Like, are you okay with waiting for that? Because I kind of want it to look nice. I'm going to go to that trouble if you're okay with that. I'm going to do it anyway. They're my pants. So, yeah. And then at least I can show you how to fix this. And I'm going to look at the other side too. All right, I'm going to get rid of all these pins in here right now. No more? All right, here's one. Here's a bunch. Okay, let's look at the elastic hole down here. Yeah, look at that. That's really narrow. This seam right here is much narrower. This is so close. I guess... You know what else you could do? Here's another backup plan. You could stop the stitching of this waist like shy of the end here, like stop like right here where my thumbnail is. Poke this in here, edge stitch it down like they tell you to, and that would be sufficient. You know what I mean? I think that that's probably a very, a more usable solution. Because I'm not sure, like this one, I would lose a lot of seam allowance there. See that? So maybe my seam allowance at the waist here is too wide, but it looks pretty good. So let's look at the side again. Do I want to just do that? I think that's what I'll do. And then that means, where does this go? Here it is. So we're going to stop sewing our waist seam like right here, about 3/8 of an inch away. Let's just try it. Okay, and get a beverage nice. That's what I need. I'm going to take a drink of water. No, Christina, that's probably my own seam allowance issue. It is supposed to be 1 inch elastic, right? Maybe that's where I went wrong. It says 1 inch elastic. Let's, so if this should be 2 inches wide, and it is, barely, it's like 2 inches wide. So it's just my inaccuracy. That's all. Okay. I'm going to try the second option because I'm kind of curious to see how well that'll work. I'm just pulling these threads to the wrong side there so they don't poke out on the right side. All right, so that is like way back here. All right, let's get back in here. Oh, there we go. I like backup plans too. You know, it's like it's nice to know what else you can do. Plus, there's a lot to be said for being like, I am over sewing this and I just want to be done. You know, so I respect that. All right, so we're gonna go like right there, right? I sewed to right here, and so this is loose. Okay. And that's where I marked on the pin. I was like, where did my pin go? It was on the other side. All right, and then now what we do is we stick this elastic in here, right? Like that. That actually makes it easier to stick it in there. All right, now I'm gonna, how do I sew this? Like this. I'm also gonna tuck this little corner in here like that. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think that's part of it. I mean, I'm using corduroy. If you were doing this in linen, you'd probably get a really perfectly accurate, nice finish. You know what I mean? I wanted to see if they say to poke it in 1/4 inch like they have for all the other things. Elastic in hole. Okay, well, it just says to stick it in there. All right. Yeah, that corduroy, exactly. Yeah, because like one side, my seam allowances looked okay, but I still didn't get enough. The other side, my seam allowances was a little bit off. I'm going to sew that a couple times. This feels like this could be the weak link, you know? All right. Okay, that's what I did. Ooh, this is so exciting. Okay. All right, but Cashmerette, why did I need 3.5 yards of binding? I have so much left. Okay. So the side's done. The other side's not done yet. We still haven't finished the sewing of the waistband here. All right, so I'm gonna do again. I'm not gonna go all the way to the end. I think that worked really good. So we'll start a little past the binding. Okay. Oh, I noticed a thread on the other side right here that I need to get rid of. Okay. I might be able to, yeah, I actually, like they say that you can get it to within 1/8 of an inch. That's about right. Looks like I met it, but on this side, but not on the other. All right, so let's put our little piece of elastic in there. I'm so glad I did the Spanish snap. It looks so clean. Not that I'm trying to sway you. What was that thread? I saw you. Where were you? Oh, you. Let's get rid of you. Okay, stick that in there. And then, how did I do that? I did it from like this, right? Okay, like this. Okay. Don't arrange it until you get it like this. So I have it right side up. I'm going from the top of the waistband down. I'm going to stick it in there like that. And let's see if I can fold down this corner right here. This would be a good chance, like this one right here, what we could do, I'm going to clip this corduroy corner right here. And then that way I can kind of fold this one like that. So I'm folding it in like making a triangle fold. Yeah, I feel like buttonholes, when they're really big like that too, they look a little bit stretched out or loose. And on this lining fabric, it felt a little like I should have interfaced the lining more, you know? Okay, let's get it. I'm just getting it in there, positioning it. All right, hold it all together. Get your machine on it. Stop, needle down. So now you can kind of take a breather. All right, do it again. All right, get rid of some of these little threads. That's like raw edge threads right there. And then let's clean up the side. I hope these fit. All right, where's that other thread? It's like bugging me. Oh, let's see if we can take out my pin for my label that Fiona saved the day on. All right, here it is. I knew it. That's right there. All right. Moment of truth. I'm ready for Thanksgiving. I'm ready for any day of the week now. Okay. We did it. We did it. We did it. Yay. No Sosimo. See you, Kira. See you next week. All right. Here we go. Looks pretty good. Let's see the inside. All right, let's take a tour. So it's the center front right here. There's my buttonhole, the short piece of elastic. center back. All right, and then remember how we put the binding finish on our pocket? There it is right there. That's the short elastic right there. So they must have found something with not using fabric right here that wouldn't work very good, you know? It would have been so cool to see the whole process. I love doing projects like that, you know? All right. Should I try them on? Yeah, Terry. All right, I'm going to try them on. Just a minute. I have like high top shoes with laces though, so. Terry's going to hack it tonight. Nice. It is like magic. Hi, Lindsay. Ooh. Okay. I haven't seen them yet. Let's take off the sweater. What happened to the stick? Woo! The suspense. They feel very comfy. I don't have any buttons on it yet. They feel a little big, but in a kind of a comfy way. You know, like once the button is there, I think they're going to be perfect. Wow. Oh, I love these. Okay, they're really long. I'm standing on my toes. How does the back look? What is this? Oh, it's the welt. Oh, that is a long pocket. I literally am at the bottom of my buttocks. The pocket goes to here. They look lower rise on the models. They don't feel low rise. They feel low in the crotch, I will say. I could have pinched out some. Let me sit down. See, they're a little low. Let me see if I can get this straight on. It's hard. This isn't the angle I use. I put a camera mounted on my machine. So they feel low here. See that? They feel a little low. Oh, I like them though. All right, let me sit down. Oh, how did they look? It looks good. You don't even feel it. I think it looks really good. What do you guys think? The pockets are huge. Like, look at that. That's... They're a little loose on the low hip, you think? I mean, they're trousers. I think that they're a little big for me. No visible, no, there's no way you'd be able to see it. It's so tucked in there, but they feel really good. So this is my only thing. That's a lot for me. And if I pull them up, that's too big. So hopefully they'll shrink a little bit in length. But I love the way they fit. They feel really comfortable. They look really nice. Yeah. I mean, hooch pockets are okay. Doesn't it sound like I'm breaking my chair when I do that? You know, if something's like too low in your pocket and you sit down, it sits on your thigh. I don't really like that. They don't feel like they're going to do that though. They're fine. The depth is fine. They just feel bigger. So comfortable to sit in. These are my new streaming pants. Yeah, I would shorten the front. I would shorten the rise. Yeah, shorten the legs a bit. Hey, Jessica. I don't know. I don't know if I have that in my booklet. Let me see. Oh, I do. So there is about an inch difference between the standard and full bum at the hip. Thanks, guys. So I think I would do, I don't know if I would grade down a whole size. You guys really think the hip's that full? The hip doesn't feel that full on me. Does it look that loose? But the rise is definitely, like I could take 2 inches out of the rise. An inch on front and back. I would take an inch out of the back and the front. Ooh, look at my sweater kind of goes. They look kind of professorially. They're not that loose. They're trousers. But yeah, if I could get rid of like this amount. I think that would be better, especially in the front. And that makes sense with my hip tilt because, you know, my body's like this. This is my butt. This is my torso. So my front is shorter. That's why my belly pokes out too. Yeah, I think I would shorten the front. I would probably, and that's all I would do. That's all I would do actually, because the waist is fine where it sits on me. The front pocket's open. What do you mean? Hey, Raquel. I mean, it's expandable. It really snaps back. Look at that. Look at that, Rachel. So comfortable. You can't even tell. Look at how much it expands. You can't even see anything. Look at that. I'd have to go really far. But yeah, I think they are a little big in the waist maybe. See that? But you know what I could do? I wonder if I could make my elastic a little smaller. It's a rise thing. Yeah, I think so too. I'm really familiar with that adjustment, and that's the one adjustment I was going to make on the cutting stream is I was going to shorten the rise, and I didn't because I compared it to the Mitchells, and the Mitchells I had shortened, and so I was like, all right, these are the same exact rise. It's always long, Aisha? Yeah, Rachel. But you have to wait? Okay. It's interesting because when I look at like the cover picture of these, like this one looks, it doesn't look low rise. When I look at the other size range, the rise looks really low. Like the waist, I'm sorry, the waist. The waist looks low, like it's a short rise. And on the Ames jeans, I found the rise to be really short on me. And I do think I made the 12 to 32 band, you know, the size group. So I don't remember though. So I was actually thinking like, well, that's okay. I am kind of short-waisted. I like that. The Ames jeans were too short on me, and I had to I made a double the size waistband to make those work for me later, and I actually love those now. So I think that that's what I would do. I would just shorten the rise a little bit and maybe grade down a size in the waist, just a little. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think, like, after seeing that go together, do you think like, yeah, I want to do this now? Or no, that looks like too much work? Or are you just wanting to try it for yourself? You're going to get the pattern, Raquel? Nice. Yeah, I know, right, Christina? The thing is, I mean, when it's loose enough and with this elastic, maybe it won't get stretched out. But I think, like, that style, it doesn't work for the whole day of wear. You know what I mean? Like, it just gets bigger and bigger, especially if you sit a lot. These are so comfortable. You're going to make this next, Jessica? Ooh, nice. Cool. You makes you want to try them. Okay, nice. I'm excited. I'm glad. I'm hoping that, like, you were watching me figure out the waist in real time. So I think that now that I know how this goes together, this would be really easy for me to do. They got the pattern, Raquel. Nice. I think that usually they do, Libby. And maybe on the 12 to 32, that is part of the sloper. It's coming to the store soon. Nice, nice, nice. Doesn't really suit you, Karen. I didn't think it did me either, but I'm kind of down for this. Yeah, the waistband construction is very cool. Yeah, I get that, Fiona. I was actually thinking of you, Fiona, because I have a video coming out in a half hour about grading between sizes. And I was talking about how, like, okay, say you want to go, you know, to the larger hip but a smaller waist. Like, what height of the crotch length do you pick? Do you pick the smaller waist crotch height or the larger? And I was like, well, if you're a really tall person but slender, you might want that longer rise, the longer torso. That's what I'm thinking, Karen. I am thinking the same thing. I was just trying to think, like, with jeans. Wouldn't jeans be nice? Make yourself a pair of selvage edge denim jeans and then do this as the waist. That would be kind of funny. I mean, I just think of selvage denim being so inflexible and non-stretchy. And then you're like, but I've got this secret weapon. All right. Well, thanks for going along with me. I'll be adding my hook and eye and my button. Yeah, like sitting here, it's so nice. It's like really comfortable. But there's a lot of room. Yeah, right, Terry? Yeah, that sounds perfect, Chantal. I mean, just for sitting at my sewing machine or my computer all day, that's what's nice about it. Like wearing, because then your jeans aren't putting the stress on the front button, you know? So, yeah. All right, so next week, let me show you what I'm making next week, because I am streaming next week, which I don't usually. These do feel a little high-waisted. Okay. But they're supposed to be. All right, so I'm making a shirt by Merchant & Mills. Hearts Fabric gave me this pattern. And can you see it has a collar stand, button placket, sleeve placket, no armhole seam. Yeah, thanks, Karen. You too. And then this is what it looks like. And I'm doing it in this kind of a bold plaid. You guys are going to crack up when you see it, I think. So, yeah, I've never made a Merchant & Mills shirt. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this. I think this would be kind of a fun shirt to wear. You know me, I really like shirts that have a set-in sleeve, but when it's close fitting, they can kind of work. Like the one I'm wearing today is the Mellow Low by Deer & Doe. and it doesn't have a set-in sleeve, but it works because it's such a close-fitting sleeve cuff. It's kind of too close sometimes too. You gotta like make that thing big enough for your bicep. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm looking forward to this as an option for having a shirt that's not always a button down. I can't be a snob about armholes forever, right? Yeah, I can. All right. Well, thanks for coming, you guys. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. So I'm streaming next week only on Wednesday and Thursday, because usually next week is all of my workshops with the guild. And then the following week, I am going to be out of town. That's why I'm not going to be streaming. That's my usual week. So then I'll see you when I get back after that. So I'm not sure where that puts my streaming schedule. I'm not sure if I'm streaming the week I get back or not. I have to look. I've already got it scheduled down. So we're coming into December. We always have a gift sewing week. I might do something different this year. Maybe we could just all sew together rather than having a bunch of gift ideas. I have a lot of shirt making to do and a few other things. And then I'm going to be doing the Divided Basket by Noodlehead next month. Something else. Well, I've got those legato jeans, but I don't know. I'm not ready to make some jeans right now, so we'll see. I might make another shacket with a fuzzy lining too. So yeah. No, thanks for inspiring me to do these, Rachel. Well worth. Didn't need another pair of pants. I'm super excited. I need stuff to go with this mustard color though. I have 2 pairs of pants and mustard now. So, all right, you guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you next week, Wednesday, 11 a.m. Pacific, same time, same place. Have a great weekend. Bye.